If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to week 3 of Test Chamber Twilight 2000 as we descend into the looting madness of people who think it's a good idea to try and steal from a professionally trained soldier. But we'll see what happens in a minute. But first, don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to like and subscribe to the channel. I think I've gained about 8 subscribers in the past few days, so good for you guys. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Currently, I think I know what the next game after this is going to be, and then the next game, and the next game, the orders that I'm going to do them in. We're going to go around the table shortly and get people to introduce themselves and their characters. Then we'll do a quick recap of what happened last time.
Recap.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I was working late last night, as I always do on a Saturday. But I actually had to do actual work, so it was, really annoying.
Tossing drunks and stuff.
No, I had to collect glasses. It was fun. The next game after this in... What week are we on? Week 3?
Yep.
Oh, how many weeks does that?
6 weeks from now.
Is it 6? That's
It'll be
9,
6
though.
weeks because we got 8 of this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so it'll be the 7th week. 7th week will be a new game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the next game will either be, currently in the lead on the polls is Warhammer 40,000 Wrath and Glory, followed closely by Fallout, and then closely followed by that by the One Ring. So, depending on the outcome of the poll that I'm doing on my Discord and on Patreon as well. So if you're a Patreon support, you can also vote there as a second vote. Benefits of Patreon. You can help influence what order the games are going to be in. Preferably 40k, because I can actually just buy the Foundry module for 40k. That's why it's definitely on my priority list. But I've pretty much spent the entire week putting Fallout rulebook on Foundry, and I've mostly done it.
Awesome.
All the skills, all the talents, all the gear, all the equipment. I'm just sorting out the equipment into its rightful locations and stuff like that. So I spent a long time sorting it out.
Quick question. Does your Fallout game include the shotgun shell punch glove?
I don't know what that is.
The punch glove. The punch gun from Fallout. It's a shotgun shell on top of your fist with a trigger as like a brass knuckle. And when you punch somebody with it, it depresses the trigger and fires a shotgun shell into people.
What Fallout is that from?
Any Fallout game?
Is it in? Oh, I don't remember it being Fallout. I don't remember it being Fallout 3. Is it the power glove?
No.
I don't know then. I don't think so. I haven't seen it.
Haven't encountered it.
Damn.
Because that's all Nathan wants in life is
I
one
played
of
in
those.
I played in a GURPS Fallout 1 shot, and I had a guy who was only had 3 fingers on his right hand, so they called him Lefty. And the weapon I chose was the punch gun. I don't have to hold on to anything. I just have to slug things, and they get a shotgun shell in the face. It's great.
So
much fun.
So depending on the order, it will probably be. Hopefully, it will be 40k, Fallout, and then the One Ring.
Now, would you be running any of these yourself, Jim?
Yes, I'm going to be running
Excellent.
probably all 3 of them, unless I can wrangle up a GM and I can be lazy.
Con someone into it.
I've been known to be conned twice on this channel.
Yes, twice.
If you tell Sue,
I'm a mean Fallout
go ahead,
GM
Jim.
too.
If I tell Sue, maybe I don't know what other game, because Liminal's her bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
But
if you pitch the One Ring as a cozy Hobbit and mystery, she might go for it.
But the Liminal videos haven't done well at all on YouTube.
It was such a fun group.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's
one's
a
watching
widely known game. I don't think it's a widely known game.
Well, this, the first video that we put up of this, blew, nearly 200 people have watched it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Sorry,
those people.
it's not. Yeah, thank you. It's not. It's not that I'm like. I do have to look at figures, right? As well. That's the problem.
Got to keep the lights on, brother.
Well, I'm not getting any money from it, but you know.
Yes, he's not getting any money.
You got to pay for the games that are being run.
yeah, it's gotta. Or just at least provide an interesting product for people to watch.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
And also,
Have a good
like,
time.
I do like doing smaller third-party games. But yeah, it's just it doesn't seem to it hasn't held a candle to. I mean, it was a great game. I fucking thoroughly enjoyed it. But compared to the viewers of the Alien game we did and this game, it's not as well known, which is I think is not helping it.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see.
Plus, we were all over Twitter and Facebook groups and stuff for Alien in this too, so that helps.
So yeah. So let's introduce ourselves and characters. So I'm James Corp. You probably know me from such places as here. And
That one time you were on the RPG podcast talking about games other than D&D.
oh yeah, I did that once. I went on a podcast once, which was mainly a bunch of D&D people who only ever play D&D, and I was like talking about other games other than D&D. It was
A bit of a one-sided conversation.
No, they were asking me questions.
Good.
I don't think it exists anymore. Because the guy who owned the channel had a hissy fit or something. I know. It was good conversation though, because they were asking me questions like, "What? There's other games than D&D?" Yes. And they don't break when you get too high up in levels because some of them don't have levels.
D&D does,
And some of them you won't survive long enough for it to be a problem. Speaking
anyway,
of,
I'm playing Doc or Samuel, well, Samuel Laker or Doc or whatever you want to call him. He's called Doc by his friends. He's a medic. He wants to help people, but so far he's killed most people he's encountered.
one of them like just cold blood too.
Well,
He was going to bleed out anyway.
I could have just left him for dead, right? That would have been good, right?
Saved a bullet. But you're a humane sort.
Whatever. Trey.
Yep, my name's Trey. I play Flagpole, this charming, trustworthy fellow from the CIA that you can't help to love, right?
Yes.
Yeah, especially when he gives you babysitting duties.
Yeah, babysitting duty. I just needed you out of earshot, man. Just needed you out of earshot. Yep.
Tom.
Yeah, so I'm Tall Tom, and I'm playing Blake Bossons, a man who always makes good life decisions and is not in any way mentally ill-equipped for the shit show he is now finding himself in the middle of with his best mates surrounded. And yeah, like quite likes killing people, but also really wants to get home to see his daughter Julie, is beginning to realize that maybe the world is not goodies and baddies. Oh, shit.
Douglas.
I'm Douglas. I'm Broken Shepherd on Discord, Broke Shep on Twitter. I am playing Erwin Eckhart, a Canadian Special Forces sniper. He goes by Win. Hopefully we do, but the odds seem stacked against us today. And he has sightline on 2 Soviet soldiers right now who are pillaging the back of a grocery store in downtown Kalisz. But stuff is hitting the fan elsewhere in the store, so I expect we're going to start things off there.
Thank you. Last but not least, the tormentor of today's game, Nathan.
Illustrious GM. I'm Godless Polecat, Nathan Clark, or Godless Polecat anywhere you care to find me online, James. Good luck finding me online. You can find me here running games or playing games. There's video evidence of me elsewhere as well. So, a quick recap. Okay. The group was dropped into Kalisz on the first night, or like the third night of Operation Reset, in order to extract Albin Wozniak, who codenamed Orchid. And Albin is in possession and is the inventor of some important technology that can help the Allies and like civilization get back on track and restart. Hence Operation Reset. The group has parachuted into a war zone from about 1,300 meters up. They parachuted onto a 6-story building, and Flag, the CIA agent, strained his ankle a little bit upon landing. That was the only bad thing that happened basically to the group when they did that. They went to the apartment, moved to the apartment, immediately were kind of presented with a scene of a team of Russian soldiers who were trying to break into presumably the room that they needed to get into to talk to Albin Wozniak, codename Orchid. With a little bit of expenditure of some tax money, they eliminated the threat of the Russians, and the Russian soldiers made contact with Albin, only to find out that along their route, Albin's little brother and little sister had earlier in that night had gone out looking for food at their favorite grocery store. So with the mother and Albin in tow, or codename Orchid in tow, the group has decided to move to the supermarket to try to find the brother and sister, to try to get them out as well, and then move to Objective Rose. Meanwhile, Objective Rose is getting hotter and hotter as Russians press the attack more and more in the city. And it's only a matter of time before that objective is either overrun or the team gets there and makes it out of the city with the 101 MI unit that's there. There's a bunch of chatter on the radio, sporadic. There's like a whole bunch of heavy fighting going on inside the city as Russians are making a big push. The group found the supermarket and then found that there was a group of Polish citizens out front arguing with Russian soldiers that were in the grocery store in the back. The Russian soldiers appear to have a shot up UAZ parked on the back loading deck, and there's some Russian soldiers in the back of the supermarket that appear to be like looking for something or looting. And the yelling and pointing guns at the front of the grocery store, which is where you have a four Polish citizens, or as the group now knows, Polish looters. Well, not the whole group, just Doc. So the group decided to split into two teams. One team would attempt to pinch the Russians from the front, enlisting the help of the Polish looters as well. And the second team, which is Flag and Win, are overwatching the Russian soldiers from the back entrance of the supermarket. As soon as the machine gunner Blake moved forward down the aisle to try to get a better angle on the Russian soldiers, at the same time, he also spotted Miko and Christina, the two siblings that they're looking for, in the back left corner of the supermarket behind the deli counter. One of the Polish marauders that was at the front of the store basically points his shotgun, almost at point blank range, points his shotgun at Doc and tells Doc to take his kit off and everything and drop it at his feet. Now, the only person that knows that that's happened so far is Doc now. And that's where we start the story.
Cool. What sort of shotgun is it, by the way?
It's just a crappy double-barreled Eastern European shotgun.
It is
So
the kind that hurts, right?
It's double-barreled, so it's dangerous once at very close range, but it's
a long barrel, right?
Maximum
so
danger.
If he
Yes.
can close before dude's reflexes kick in, he could get inside the range of that gun.
Who?
You, if need be.
So I'm gonna look at him, look up and down at him after he's pointed the shotgun and told me to drop my stuff, and go, "Are you serious?" And this is in English. Are you serious?
Okay.
We're on your side.
Let's do. let's make a let's give a persuasion roll. Or what do you want to use? Do you want to use persuasion?
Yes, preferably.
Okay, because you're going to try to assuage his attitude, and he is going to roll as well.
Okay.
Oh no,
Right,
he's not gonna roll. I'm gonna set a difficulty for this.
Okay.
Okay, I've got the difficulty.
Do I
go ahead?
All right.
What are you just gonna use your words, or do you want to like?
Well, what do you mean? I'm mainly going to use my words at first.
Okay. Okay.
Persuade rather than intimidate. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm just. Okay, cool. You're gonna speak to him in English, not Polish, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Go
basically, I'm saying, are you serious? You're trying to rob me?
Is that over the radio? Is the question.
I don't know how easy it is to push the radio.
You could theoretically, give me.
Is there a sleight of hand as he thumbs the
There's
send
no
button,
sleight of hand,
putting his hands up?
But
We
it
will
should be
say
loud enough
this.
that it's going to be clear enough that
Like
The Parsons will
Blake
hear
can
it.
hear
Yeah.
it. Can hear it.
If
Or
you
Dad.
Hot Parsons.
stats
Pops. There you go.
Yeah.
Sold.
pop out, if you
Who is the youngest of us?
come on stats, give me the thing.
Is anyone else's character sheet acting up a bit?
Yeah, it's taking a minute. It's not scrolling.
And mine is like has this weird. The taps has just become a third of the entire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
same
looking
here.
a little odd.
Yeah, without the actual names of the taps being on the taps.
Yeah.
It's like this might.
They're
Mine-
floating in space.
Yeah, mine strange formatting, but it is still usable if I expand it to the entire length of the window.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
should be able
see.
to. Yeah, you should be. If you should be able to pop your cat sheets out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still doesn't scroll down though.
Oh, that's weird.
You should.
Is that-
Yeah, but if you go to the bottom, you should be able to pull the window bigger. Just make the window bigger, and it will.
There, I don't have enough window to pull it down further.
Oh,
it
I
just
see
scales
what
what
you're
I can
saying.
already
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Yeah, that's odd. Why is it doing that?
Should we go out and log back in, see if it refreshes?
Press control. Hold on
Hey.
the window. Hold control and press minus.
I've refreshed a couple of times. It seemed to make much difference.
Yeah, you got it right. No, not entirely. It helps, James, but the formatting is weird. But now it's zoomed out enough that I can see my specialties.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hit minus and pull it. Wow. Odd.
But it's still off formatted.
Let me. Did I miss an update or something?
Don't think so.
All right. Well, I don't know if it's usable. Can you guys access all your skills?
Yes.
I can.
Doable.
It's doable. Okay. All right. Then we're gonna roll. Okay. Yep. James, go ahead and agility, driving, mobility. Roll me on a mobility check. Actually, no, not a mobility check. What other skills do you have?
Well, it could be recon.
Nope.
What for? It's basically.
I'm gonna give you got to roll to kind of conceal the fact you're pushing a button.
There isn't really a skill for it, is there? Really,
Like,
it's either recon. It's either recon or mobility. Would be either the two.
There's agility, intelligence. I can't see the other abilities, dude, to make a call here.
Oh, it's okay. Here, I can pull them up. So you're trying. This is to convince or to dodge, or what are you wanting to do?
No, let me. I need to look at all the attributes and skills, but I can't see them. For some silly reason. Hold on.
Strength. We can read them out, or you can pull up the
Yeah, just read them out real quick.
Strength, you got heavy weapons, close combat,
No.
stamina.
Yep.
Agility, you've got driving, mobility, ranged combat.
Yep.
Intelligence is recon, survival, or tech. Empathy is command, persuasion, medical aid.
Okay, roll me a tech.
I don't have tech.
Okay, then just roll the attribute.
You're in your base intelligence.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh,
All right, yeah,
Solid.
you can cleverly conceal the button push when you make this roll.
He has rolled an 8 on his D10. 6 or higher is a success.
So
thanks.
go ahead. Yeah, so go ahead and give yourself a persuasion roll with a +1.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was
Here we
for actually radioing it out to everyone else. So
That's actually, yeah, so you guys are going to hear this. That's for depressing the hand mic key without anybody knowing. Oh, that's a great roll. It's a great roll. You needed 2 successes. So
Yeah, I got 2
He's-
successes, so I got a 7 and a 6, so that's 2 successes.
his persuasion is 2d10, so that's excellent. With the +1. Yeah, so you kind of say that to him, and he says, he kind of like, the shotgun kind of like drops down a little bit. So now it's not pointed at your chest, it's kind of pointed at your waist. So I presume you're kind of crouched down a little.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was crouched down too. Now it's kind of pointed kind of like at your like hip or the floor. And he's like, he's in Polish, he's like, what did you say?
I'll say it in Polish now.
Okay.
What do you... I can't even remember what I said, but it was along the lines of, Are you
Are you serious? I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I'm on your side. He's like, what do you mean you're on my side? I'm
We're
on
gonna
my
t-
side. What have you
we've
done
got-
for me except bring war, death, and destruction to this city? You know how hungry I am?
Well, maybe if you wasn't such... Maybe if you weren't trying to rob me, maybe we could share... Maybe we could give you the spoils of the Russian soldiers we're about to take out.
Well, how
You
about
know,
I just...
the one,
Go ahead.
you know, the ones that you were shooting, or arguing with, and not doing much with, right? There's at least a few more of our people gonna burst through that door in about 10 seconds. And
Blake,
you wanna...
Blake, you.
So you see him kind of like look behind you, like off to the left a little bit, because you know there's a guy behind you as well that's over by the wall, and you can hear that guy whispering. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Come on, get him to drop the stuff."
Oh, okay.
So
That was saying in Polish. He's telling him to get him to drop the stuff.
if Blake's heard all this,
Yes.
there's 3 things Blake wants to do, and you tell me if he's got time to do all of them. So to the kids who are up ahead, he wants to go, and then he wants to duck to his left through the door to what I think is a little office or possibly a toilet, and then reposition himself with his machine gun pointing back at the Polish guys.
Okay. Yeah, that's completely doable. I'll say it doesn't take anything to tell the kids, "Hey, get down." And then for you to just kind of swing around and then move into here, because remember, it's still kind of low light in this grocery store, even though there's lights on. Like you kind of flicker out of the, so go ahead and move your token. You flicker out of the light, whatever, and kind of move into there. This guy down here, these 2 guys with James don't even notice you move. Because they're kind of fixated on James.
So while I've got them covered, I'm going to very quickly call to Win and go, Win, I got eyes on the kids, but also, like, I have one of these Polish dicks who's just stabbing us in the back in my sights. What do you want me to do?
And James, you hear that. Doc hears that over the radio.
So I'll signal in. I've got my 2 bogeys. Flag if you can support Doc and Blake. I'll cover this end.
I go back.
Yeah,
got
I
it?
think you're just like a few meters down the wall from the windows.
Yeah.
where you'd be able to potentially see in and get a different angle of fire on the looters, just as long as you're not exposing your flank to the Russians in the back. I still got 2 Russians in my sight line, but from the looks of the store layout, I'm not going to be able to see where Doc is. So I'm not going to be able to help with that. But if I can keep these 2 occupied from my angle, it hopefully keeps them off your back.
So I can, like, the wall I'm up against this, there's no windows, right?
Well, I thought you were at the corner, right? You're at the corner of the loading bay?
I might be reading the map wrong.
Like,
but
you're here.
James, you're on the inside of the wall, and I'm the outside of the wall. I'm in the parking lot.
Right?
Yeah. So you're way away.
Yeah, Flag. Yeah, he's a ways away. So Flag is right on this corner. He hasn't exposed himself to the inside yet. He's just kind of waiting for a signal.
The windows of the store, are they not along here, or is that hard wall?
That's a hard wall. Yeah.
Oh, so they're just down at this end.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has cover. Like he could double back. Quick to provide
Flag
support.
is completely unobserved right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try to move back. Like,
and
double
it's
time.
extremely dark in the parking lot.
Okay.
And you have night vision.
So, can I ask a question? Because obviously, being not a real soldier, what would my training say that I should be doing?
Well, what you're going to want to do is you want to get close enough to grab the barrel of his gun.
Well, he's right next to me, isn't he?
Yeah. So what you need to do is you need to what I would do in this situation. I would pretend like I would shift, like I was taking my gear off, because you're gonna move for the gun. As soon as you move for the gun, he's gonna start. I'm not even gonna get into OODA loop and distracting somebody for like taking their brain off. So anyway, seconds count. So thousands of seconds count. So what you're going to do is, instead of like the movement you would use to make it look like you were unbuckling your gear, you'd maybe go for a buckle and then move like you were taking it off. But when you did that, you would move for the gun. So it would take him a second to register the fact that you're moving your hands, taking your gear off, that you just went for his gun. And what you're going to want to do is you want to position yourself when you turn to like turn towards him, like take a step or like take like a nudge, like you're just like moving to reposition to take your stuff off, innocent enough. But what you're really doing is getting close enough to grab the barrel of his gun. So when he pulls the trigger, it's not pointed at you. And then you either yank your pistol and put it in his face and pull the trigger, or you can pull a knife, or it becomes hand-to-hand at that point.
All right, I'm not very good at hand-to-hand. But yeah, that's
exactly.
okay.
Which is why you have a pistol, so you don't have to fist fight anybody.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to like go, go to like shift myself, move, go take off, unbuckle, and then go for the shotgun. And this is probably not going to work, but I want to try and like aim his shotgun at his mate over there.
And
there you go.
And I'm trying to make my way back to the main hall as fast as possible.
But I mean, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's a shift left and then pull the gun forward, because if his hand was on the trigger, you could actually fire it without him meaning to do it.
It is a shotgun. So we'll say this. I need you to roll me a close combat check.
Oh bollocks!
The amount of 6. So we'll do this. This will be fun. So I need you to roll me a close combat check. It's going to be opposed by his close combat. It's going to be opposed by his agility.
Right.
I don't suppose we can give him a boost on this. With a distraction.
No, James doesn't get. There's not going to be a boost, but the guy's rolling straight agility. He's not rolling a skill.
Yeah, but I don't have any close combat either, so I'm rolling straight strength, right?
Right. Okay. Which isn't your strong suit. No pun intended.
No, it's definitely not. No.
Well, if you want to make a case to use something else, you can.
So I was going to suggest I think you're better off with mobility, James.
I'm gonna go right off the limb. Does he look like he's injured in his shoulder at all? Could I use my medicine to basically like take advantage of any of his injuries that he has on him?
No, he does not look like he's injured.
Just
Yeah, but I'm
starting.
talking about old injuries, like ones that haven't properly healed. You know, the fact that he's malnutritioned and I'm not. He's possibly weakened than I am because he
Okay,
hasn't
so
eaten
do you
for-
want to let's not gonna like yeah, that'll get you close to move his gun. So yeah, do you want
Or
to
maybe I could use just my speed and strength, like mobility, to do it rather than trying to do
Yeah.
close combat.
two base dice, just go strength and agility?
Sorry,
Just use strength and agility?
well, I've got mobility.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you can use that. You can use agility and mobility. Yeah, you can use mobility. Okay.
And this is where it goes horribly wrong. Say goodbye to Samuel Aker. Right,
Remember,
am
you
I,
can put- You can push rolls too.
so
and
the
we'll
bad
say
thing-
is-
Money, no whammies.
I've got a backpack on, so I'm at -2 to this roll. Yeah.
Unless the backpack was what you took off and then used to bat his shotgun out of the way as you
I
sidestep
wouldn't
and
say you
closed.
have you don't have a minus to this roll, so take your minuses away or add a +2 modifier if it's not letting you get rid of the other modifier.
I can get rid of it. It's a tick box.
Okay, I get rid of the modifier.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Good roll.
Nice.
I could push it though, couldn't I?
You could push it, but you did succeed. But he's not gonna shoot his buddy.
Okay, that's fine.
So what I was gonna say is if you got more successes than he is, that'll act as a minus on his attack,
okay.
and then we'll make an attack against his friend. But
Does it help that he had a bigger success than the Marauder did?
He needed a success.
Multiple successes, not
Yeah.
the degree of success.
Yeah, I rolled an 8, which gave me 1 success, and the Marauder rolled a 7, which gave him a success. So it's
Yep.
pretty tied. So yeah, so okay, so I don't get, I don't push the gun in the direction of his mate, but I do get up to him, and I pull out the pistol and I just shove it in his fucking like wherever I know it's going to do the most harm.
All right. So what I will say is we're gonna roll for initiative. So I'm gonna say that you hit the shotgun out of the way. It goes off. Everybody in the store's like, "What the?" The shotgun goes off, and then you jerk your pistol.
Great.
And now combat starts. So I will grab everybody to the tracker.
Remember, if you right click on the tracker, right, it will open up a little window.
Yep.
Oh my god, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, but don't
Oh, there's a car as well. I don't think the car
Encounter.
counts.
Marauder.
And we're just going to
WAZ
kill them one at a
doesn't count.
time.
Yeah, hold on. Remove combatant. Christina Flag, Blake, Soviet soldier. Nico. Marauder, civilians, Orchid. Okay, cool. All right, so let's roll for initiative for everybody.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Yes,
God.
bits dice.
That's a
So many
lot of
dice.
combatants.
Bits
And there's
dice.
one very cocked guy there.
All right, so where is the?
Yeah, you need to move it up to the first one because currently it's on Orchid. So you can
Yeah, no, I know.
you can just click on it, I think, to move it up.
Take combatant. Nope. Right click. Where's the little arrow keys it used to be? Oh, begin combat. Boom, there we go. Aha. Lovely. Okay, so this civilian is going to, what's he going to do? He hears the bang. He's going to move forward and see what's going on. Because he can't really see. Soviet soldier. Which one is that?
Right near the door. That one. Oh, you can't see. If you hover over if you hover over their token on the combat tracker, it does highlight where they are.
Yeah, I just clicked on him. It highlighted him. So yeah, he's going to. I know what he's going to do. Alrighty. Next, it's Doc. It's your turn.
It's my turn.
Can I
Doc's
get?
turn.
Can I move round behind him and just hold the gun and use him as a fucking like human shield?
Yeah, you'd have to. If you want to use him as a human shield, you'd have to make a grapple check.
Oh, that would be close combat.
Yep, it's close combat. Remember, you don't like that. What you
Yeah.
can do is you could, empty your M9 into him and then head up that aisle for cover. I'll give you a +2 because you point blank range. In this game, it says like for point blank range, it assesses minuses. Like it's like a -3 to engage somebody with gunfire at point blank range, but it's extremely easy to shoot somebody at point blank range.
Okay.
So I'll give you a +2, and if you want to use ammo dice, you can use ammo dice. You could just John Wick him and then baseball slide on your knees into the grocery aisle to the north. If you want to, it's just a suggestion.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
Oh no, I don't do that, do I? I do it through the combat, is it? Or I do it through the...
So you use your weapon, yeah, through the items, the gear.
It's an M9.
Yep.
Attack, yeah?
Yep. I'd
You
use
can
max
add
rate
2
of
dice.
I'd use max rate of fire as well, and I'm giving you a +2.
Okay. And what does the max fire do?
It just gives you more. It gives you 2 more dice, 2 more d6s, and whatever the numbers come up on the d6s is how much ammo you use.
Okay.
If you don't use them, you just fire 1 round.
Alright. Fuck it. Let's shoot the bastard. Don't fucking point your shotgun at me, is what I'm saying.
Fair request.
Oh,
Oof.
there's a 6.
Oh,
and
that's
a,
money.
And a gentle jam on the ammo die too.
Yeah, it's okay. But that's if he wants to push it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna push it.
But you're gonna do 1 damage. You're gonna do 2 damage. And you spent 9 rounds, so you just plug him in the legs. So you basically move the shotgun to the left, pull the pistol, and as soon as your pistol's clear of the holster, you just start popping them at close range. You start pow 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 9 rounds, and then you fleet up the aisle there. So if you want to move up the aisle, go ahead. Cool. And you
Can
kind
he
of
deke a cup? Can he deke over a register or 2?
Yeah,
Get
he
out of
can.
the line of fire.
Yeah, he can. Well, those registers are really, really hard. So if he could theoretically move to there.
Yeah.
It's still within your movement rate to move up to there. Yeah, then you got a hard cover from like everything.
And Blake
Yeah.
will be able to see where he is.
Yeah,
Was
Blake's
to not
face
hit
just
him.
lights up with joy. My buddy's all right.
So that
Right.
is a.
That's
what
my
is your
turn?
M9. What's your crit? Your crit is 2. You did 2 damage to him. All right. Yeah. So he's hating life. All right.
Oh, did you get
And-
critical?
He got critical, yes, but we don't crit NPCs. He's just going to be rolling around on the ground, crying about the 9 rounds of the 9 bullets that are in his legs.
Incapacitated until his femoral artery bleeds out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which
that's
should
what I
take,
wanted
like,
to do.
30
How
seconds.
do I spend ammo? How do you expend ammo?
I do not know. Maybe it's
we'll
a
figure it
left
out.
click, right click.
Can I do -9? All right, there we go. Okay. All right, I've got 6 bullets left.
Dope. Well, in that mag.
Yeah.
Because you also pulled your pistol and executed a dude. Anywho, neither here nor there. Let's go
Well
back
done,
to our
James.
Counters. Yeah,
Yeah,
well done. It is
right.
Orchid's turn. He is cowering.
So I
Soviets-
thought I asked someone who was like, I thought it'd be best to like go, what would they do in that? What would they be trained to do? I wouldn't know what they would be trained to do. I'm sure that
Yeah,
giving up
exactly.
their gear is not an option, right? Especially the radio.
So when you engage with when you engage enemy forces, you want what's called standoff. You want to control time and you want to control space. So if you have weapon systems that reach out farther than theirs, you obviously want to engage them at a greater range than they can engage you, because you can shoot them and they can't shoot you. that also buys you time to make decisions the farther you are away from somebody. So if you need to engage somebody that's up close, what you want to do is you want to close distance and take that weapon away from him, because you didn't really have an option. It was move and get shot, or move and get shot by his buddy behind you. You know what I mean? You had to. Yeah. So the best option is to close the distance as quick as possible. You know, get the weapon out of your line of fire. So step off the center line, or move the weapon off the center line, and then engage is what you did. There's not really much you can do.
Basically, great now doing it.
Yeah, against somebody who's like a soldier or whatever. You never point a gun at somebody like right up next to him. You always want standoff. Even police officers want 12 feet of distance, because believe it or not, within 12 feet, somebody can pull a knife and run at you and stab you before a cop can get his gun out of the holster. That's why they train for like a 12-foot distance. Like, that's why I tell people, please stay back, sir. Please stay back. Because if you close within 12 feet, it's possible to rush the officer before he can get the gun up and defend himself. So, you know, pulling a shotgun on an operator, on a soldier who's known nothing but war over the last 6 years, probably wasn't the keenest of plans.
It was a career-limiting move for the Marauder.
Yeah, I know what that Soviet soldier's going to do. Flag, it's your turn. And I'll say flag. We'll say you moved. Let me grab the measuring tool, because you said you were moving before this all popped off. So
yeah, and I kind of gotten faster. Just decided that moves are going to be the first.
Yeah, so you are. If you want to, you can move. Yeah, if you want to, you can move where I just clicked.
Yeah. I would also like to try to take a mobility test to move further.
No. You can start your turn there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'll say, because you were in the process of pushing up when James did this. We just didn't address it because you said that's what you were doing. You said you were trying to get closer.
Yeah, double time.
Yeah. Here, I'll So you're in hard cover behind that car right there.
Yeah,
Can you see it?
I can see it, yeah, but I can't see. Flag can't see anything, right?
Oh, he can. He's got night vision.
Yeah, but
But he has no window.
Solid walls, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that there's there
You can
is.
see this person.
Yeah, you can see that guy in there. There's enough glass there on the front of a supermarket when you come in. You can kind of see through and see him.
It's all
Not really
smashed
enough.
though, isn't it?
And there's one behind him too.
All the
It
glass
is-
is smashed out anyway.
It is, but there's enough in the way that it's not a clean shot. Like, he'd have extra armor if you wanted to engage him from there.
Or he could move and take an unaimed shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah.
You do have a carbine, so that's not.
No, there's
not
only
bad.
-1, but I'm still thinking.
With
if
these
it's a
two-
shot, they're gonna move in. Well, I'm gonna help Doc. They're gonna get. I need to give them something else to think about than killing Doc. So I guess I'll open fire. I'm just in a very disadvantaged position. Then I think
You're
I'm
okay.
Hmm?
Yeah, you're okay because you're in hard cover, and if you look, they don't really have anywhere to go. If you shoot at them now, they have to leave out that bottom, or they have to duck into the store into cover. And when they duck into the store into cover, they're no longer in cover against Blake and Doc.
No. All
So
right.
even though it's a disadvantaged shot, it still behooves you to stay right there and just start taking shots at them.
And it gives them something else to think about. That now know they're engaging in different fronts. I'm gonna open.
And there's
I'm
two of them
gonna
in the
pop-
same line of fire for you.
Yeah, I'm also gonna pop 3. Am I?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give them 1 armor for like the aluminum.
Of course.
It's kind of like the aluminum like
So what?
door frames and stuff that's in the way.
Yeah, that's also why I'm thinking maybe.
So is your primary target going to be the civilian? And then if you get any hits, the secondary target is the marauder behind him.
Oh, there's a civilian.
Yeah, it says it says civilian on the tag, but it's this guy right here.
In the context of the game world where people don't have labels on them, what is he see
What
when
am I
you're seeing those two
seeing?
people.
What am I seeing?
Like it's,
Oh, you're,
it's one
you're
of those
seeing
just
yeah.
guy.
You're seeing guys with guns. You're seeing bandits basically.
I'm seeing guys with guns. And
seeing guys with guns.
And probably he did the radio trick for a reason.
Yeah.
Take it. 4 ammo dies. Letting loose.
Heck yeah. Silenced.
Yep.
All right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
4. Any modifiers? I'm taking an aim.
No, so I think it's a -1 with a carbine. Oh wait, you're not moving, you're aiming. Okay, you're good. Yeah, no modifiers.
All right.
Yeah, and it's within short range too. So
Boom.
okay, so you can leave that as is.
Then there's suppressed.
And there's
Oh right, he
suppressed.
got no hits, but 1 ammo hit. Are
But he
they
got
suppressed
one.
if he didn't hit?
Yes, they are
Okay.
suppressed.
We're gonna push that, right, guys?
It's up to you.
Like,
You are pushing it. Okay.
yeah. Oh, so many ones.
Weapon jam.
Okay.
Weapon jam, but you got so you got 3 hits total. So we'll say yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to use 2 dice on the up the damage on the first guy, and then the second guy gets a 1 hit?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. So this is a M4.
M4 and 1.
Crit 3
M4 and
damage.
1.
Crit 3 damage 2. Okay, so yeah, so you crit that civilian. He's got, even though he's got 1 armor. Damage 3. No, he didn't crit him. Close. But they are suppressed. Okay. And let's look quick. All right, so if you hit by enemy fire, even if the damage is fully deflected by armor or cover, or if 1 or more ammo dice in a failed attack against you show the bullet sign, which is a 6, you must immediately make a coolness under fire roll. Roll 1 base die for your current CUF rating, and if you're in line of sight of any non-incapacitated friendly fighter, you also need to roll the base die for your current unit morale rating. CF roll, your coolness under fire roll does not count as an action, and it's not a skill roll. You cannot push a coolness under fire roll. Only firearms, heavy weapons, and explosions can trigger suppression, not close combat attacks or attacks with bows and thrown weapons. Get suppressed by a bow. That's great. Get down, it's Rambo. If your coolness under fire roll fails, you are suppressed. This means that you immediately drop prone, suffer 1 point of stress, and lose both actions on your next turn. To indicate that you are suppressed, place a suppress marker on a token, which we're not going to do. Panic also spreads in this game. If you fail this coolness under fire roll and get suppressed, all friendly fighters in the same hex as you must also immediately make a coolness under fire roll to avoid suppression too. However, a single attack can only trigger 1 coolness under fire roll for the same person, never several rolls. So
There is a marker on the, if you right click on the tokens, go to the little man with the there's a red arrow pointing downwards, that's suppressed.
Yeah.
So it says that your referee can apply the effects of a coolness under fire roll for NPCs to all NPCs within similar stats in the same hex, but also that NPCs are automatically suppressed. And
Did you say I'm in full cover?
yeah, you're in full cover.
Okay, you can put a sign up saying I'm in full cover.
Suppressed. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Gotta love this boundary. This, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Free League's modules for Foundry, like they knock it out of the park, man. They're
Although
really
I'm told
cool.
it's mostly fan done. Like it's not. They're not free league products.
I don't know.
That was what somebody was explaining.
I purchased this off Free League's website, and it was so cheap. It would have been difficult not to buy it.
Oh, no, for sure.
And their Forbidden Lands, rule set module for Foundries is criminally cheap as well, and it's really good. It's really slick. Anywho, okay. So they are suppressed. Win.
I still have my sight line on these two goobers, so
Yep.
I'm gonna target this guy.
Yeah, so you see him.
Yep.
You see the guy you're looking at. You're looking at right now. You see him. He takes up a position. When it was his turn, he took a position like Overwatch. He looked like he had his weapon. He's heard the gunshot. He raised his weapon. He's waiting to see what kind of develops inside the store. Anything comes in his vision cone, basically.
Exactly. But he doesn't realize he's still exposed to his flank.
Yes.
So I'm going to take him and do rate of fire, and any additional hits will go into this guy.
Okay, so let's go.
Who are you shooting at first? That one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's 44 meters away. So that's 4 hexes. What is your range of your weapon?
It's 600.
You know, it should have a number. Have hexes.
Yeah. Yes.
It might be 6. It's 762. So
It is.
range is 10. Oh, 10 hexes. You're good to
Wow.
go. Yeah, you're good to go. I'm telling you,
Is that
762 trucks.
is that like-
I can't.
That's not. That's
There
generally
it
not
is.
extreme range either, is it? Usually.
No,
No,
that's,
This is like his extreme is like double or something.
Yeah, it's like, so it's short, medium, and long. So he's got an extreme. So he's got, he's within 100 meters of short range for him.
Right.
So pretty much every engagement that I have planned in the first couple sessions is
It'll
going to
be short range.
It's going to be short range, yeah.
Which is the point of having a designated marksman in the squad.
Yeah, I carried one of those weapons for like the first 6 months of a deployment.
Yeah.
It was, it puts people down. Yeah. All right.
Let's hope. So we've got sniper. It's aimed. Rate of fire is 2. Anything else in terms of bonuses? It's aimed.
You're
They're
aiming,
not
aren't
moving.
you?
I'm not moving. I'm in a supported position on a bipod.
Yep. They're not moving. They're not in cover.
You're aiming as well, right? That gives you
Yeah.
something, doesn't it?
Does it get? It just prevents. If it's not aimed, you suffer a -2.
No, but he's got you can slow aim. Oh, then you'd have to attack next round. Never mind. Yeah.
Well, I've been aiming this entire time, right? Like prior to
Okay. Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
these shots.
All right. Yeah. We'll give you what's it? Let's do like slow aim. Let's do. Let's go. Let's see. Ranged combat. Telescope's like slow aim +1 to +2. So I think you're going to get a.
It's 1 for it.
I think it's
Because I've got a narrow window here, shooting into this building.
No, okay,
Um,
so it's +2 if you have a stable platform and you're using the slow action to aim. So yes, so you get a +2.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's a total of +3 then. 'Cause I got the sniper bonus.
Yep.
And D12, D10. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god.
Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Machi machi.
Is this 2 hits?
Yeah. 2 hits, no. It's a head hit. I don't think we need to roll that.
No, we don't. Yeah.
No.
He's,
Yeah, but I don't get the chance to
You don't.
follow up on the guy in the loading bay, but that's okay. Because the dude beside Red Mist here is going to have to reconsider his life choices too.
yeah, so you catch him. You catch him, and the bullet kind of catches him below the ear.
Yeah.
And he kind of like slumps. It passes through. He slumps down, and when your recoil resets, you fire another one, and he kind of like when you shot him the first time, he slumped, and the second round it goes to the top, just the top of his head.
Oh.
He's all
He's brown bread, as the saying goes.
He's what?
Brown bread.
Brown bread.
Now is not the time for a snack, Doc English.
Because bread rhymes with dead.
His bread.
Or you could just say he's toast.
That's
Brown bread.
Or he's Cockney.
but that's Cockney Roman slang there. Like
Yeah,
that's
he's
how it
brown
works.
bread.
Brown bread.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dog and bone, right? Dog and bone, phone.
You could say you murked him, ghosted him,
Yeah.
center of
Apples
Broadway.
and
Those are too
pears.
literal for Cockney rhyming.
Apples and
You iced
pears,
them.
stairs.
Apples and pear stairs. Yeah. Nuclear
It's
sub.
incomprehensible. They could use it as like Navajo wind talking, and code breakers wouldn't be able to figure out a damn thing.
Brass tacks is fax. Nuclear
It's not
sub is
really
pub.
used- It's not really used anymore, though, really.
All right.
Not as much call for it on the Twitters.
We're busting grapes, making decisions. Blake, it is your turn.
So I had myself I had this guy to the south of me, kind of in my sights. So I'm going to spray him.
Alrighty. You're gonna lean out, take a fast action to aim,
Yeah.
and rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat. Okay.
The glint in his eyes comes back if you can see through the night vision goggles.
The glint is.
It's the only time you ever see Blake, or as I call him now, Papa Smurf.
I'll take it.
Papa Smurf. Hey, Papa Smurf. What?
So I swapped it over. This is my fault for fiddling around with things. I swapped over the weapon, and for some reason now it's not loaded. How did we figure out how to load it?
Oh, with ammunition?
Yeah, I've got the ammo.
I'll go into the edit.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can read this.
Oh, magazine. I just haven't highlighted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So I think it's a drop-down menu.
Yeah.
Still saying I haven't inserted ammo.
How many bullets does it say you got?
Let me look at your
Ammo.
sheet.
Yeah, if you go to the edit thing, you
Yeah.
can see in the mag.
Magazine 200. Rate of fire ammo 556 times 45 damage mag 200. Yeah,
Is it show as equipped?
it's equipped. Let's generate ammo. All right, now try it.
Okay. Yep, we're good. So, always fire all of them.
So Jesus loaded your weapon for you.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, big man.
You're welcome, my son.
And any additional modifiers?
No. How many more
Cool.
modifiers do you need? Come on.
Yeah, you gotta ask.
Just kidding.
Oh my
Damn.
fucking god!
Good gravy, Moravy.
So that's two successes, but
You
no
rolled a
ammo
10.
successes. Is that right?
Yeah, no ammo successes. That's okay. You hit him straight in the torso, and you're gonna do 3 damage, which is a crit. So yeah, you stitch him up.
And I'll just sort of say to Doc, going, like, how come they don't understand we're the good guys?
Stop or I'll shoot.
That's the correct order.
Stop or I'll shoot some more. All right. We're gonna skip Miko and Christina because they're doing what kids would do in this situation.
Eat salami.
And we're skipping that guy because he's shot to hell. And we're skipping that guy because he's suppressed. And we're skipping in the credits Soviet soldier. No, we're not. Soviet soldier.
Yeah,
4.
that's loading bay guy.
Okay, loading bay guy. Loading bay guy is going to lean out, and he's going to try to make a roll.
He's got to spot me first because it's a silenced weapon and I'm in cover
Exactly.
in the parking lot. it his recon against mine or something?
No, he's just gotta roll.
Oh wow.
Well, he sees me.
That's an 8 and a 6. That's 2 successes.
Yes, but now he's gonna shoot, but you have cover.
Yeah, and he's taking an unaimed shot.
Yeah, he's taking an unaimed shot as well, so that's -2. But you just turned his sergeant's head into a canoe. Yeah.
Actually, there is a stealth modifier for a concealed position, isn't there?
Yeah, let's look at it. Before I shoot you under the bus.
If I can scroll down to see. I don't know if I can see them.
Barriers, ambush, overwatch, suppression, explosion, heavy weapons, enemies, damage.
I can't see my specialties.
Let's look at ambush.
You've got infiltrator
Yes, I do.
and sniper,
Target.
which gives you +1 to modifier to range.
Yeah, the infiltrators
Okay.
+1 to not be observed when infiltrating.
Okay, so roll a recon with no bonuses. Just roll your recon check,
Yeah.
and it's an opposed roll. So he's got 2 successes, and you're gonna need 3 successes in order to stay hidden.
I think I've clicked it to roll. Well, no, that's a roll.
Yeah, we'll see.
You should have brought up
that's
a
why.
box.
I've got the wrong person. Yeah. No modifiers.
Okay.
So 1 success.
Do you want to push it? I don't think he can't even get 3, can you?
No, I couldn't get 3 on a D8. I couldn't get 2 on a D8, so I'm good. 1 success.
All right.
Tangled, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
-2. Fire.
Go to
2.
break at the end of this round, alright?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah, that's what I planned on. All right. Go ahead and roll coolness under fire.
Yeah.
You
So what
rattled
happened is
off-
he rolled, he got
Yes.
no hits.
So he rolled, he got no hits, fired 4 rounds. He fired off basically a quick burst out to where he thinks you are. It kind of hits the car and hits really close, but as you know, bullets hit pavement and skip forward, so rounds kind of buzz close to you.
Right.
So go ahead and roll coolness under fire. You are within visual range of another unit member, so yeah. That's flag. So go ahead and roll coolness under fire, counting, and go ahead and check the box for unit morale as well in there.
Right. And this is because although he didn't hit me, he did get a 6 on his ammo roll.
Yeah,
So
he rolled
normally
a-
that would suppress, but against
rolled
the
that.
PC, you get a coolness under fire check. Ooh! I
And
do
you-
not succeed.
And you are suppressed. Yep. So you are down. So you click on your dude. Damn. So you lose your next actions for your next turn. You're
Yep.
already prone, so you duck down. Oh wait, can you? I think you can move or crawl.
Possibly. I can crawl behind a vehicle tire to
Yeah.
make my profile that much smaller.
Suppress.
Go prone and go
Because
for
you are
cover.
suppressed, this means that you immediately drop prone. Go ahead and suffer 1 point of stress.
Yep.
Okay, after your next turn, you're no longer suppressed. Remove the marker.
Right.
You're still in cover anyway, so
Yeah.
because you're under that car.
Stress is good. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right.
Just a quick apology about if you overheard, if you could hear the music and it was too loud. That's because I couldn't hear it, and I turned it up because I couldn't hear it. I was like, oh, it's obviously not working. No, I had the music turned off, so that's why I couldn't hear it. So if the music's a bit loud, I'm really sorry. Technical issues. I should probably write a checklist, really, rather than like trying to do it all from memory, because when I'm tired, I make mistakes. But anyway, where were we?
Oh, human.
We were in the toward midst of a gunfight. That's what we were doing.
We're making mistakes. That's what we're doing.
You're not making mistakes. You guys are making sound decisions. Okay, Soviet soldier
Or one is dude in the doorway.
is just.
Who's this guy?
What does he want to do? I don't know what he
He's
wants to do.
his back is covered in brains right now.
Yeah, kind of. All right. I know what he's doing. Daco Del Taco, it's your turn.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, you're Doc. El Daco Del Taco.
Like this wanker? Like which?
Daco.
Who was he talking to say? Who was the person who replied to him saying, "Just take his shit"? Was it this fella?
This guy right here, but he's already shot to pieces, laying down next to the wall. These two gentlemen here are suppressed. So that guy is lying prone.
And this is the gentleman that Doc ventilated, right?
Yeah, that's the guy that shot him about the knees.
Do you
knees,
want to mark
ankles, and
those
shins.
two up with their respective conditions?
Yeah, their condition is like dead and dying because they got critted.
Right.
And that's what happens when you get critted in this game and you're an NPC. You get forgot. So this guy, he took like a glancing blow from a gunshot. This gentleman here, you cannot see this guy here, but you can see this guy down here. He's in a little bit of cover from you, but not much.
And he's distracted by the guy shooting him from outside.
He is prone. And he did lose his actions for this turn.
So if I say in
prone.
Polish, "We have you surrounded," throw, please, not please, throw your weapons away or whatever. Would that work, or should I just kill him?
I'm not going to give you a suggestion either way, James. It's up to you.
I'm asking my comrades here, my communist comrades.
Honestly, give it a try, and let's see if you have advantage, since they just saw a couple of their buddies die from a corner they weren't expecting. There's automatic weapons fire coming from down the aisle. They just saw you John Wick the dude and then disappear. So
I'm gonna be like, put your fucking weapons down, throw them to the floor, and put your hands up.
All right,
and maybe you can survive this.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll with a +1.
Oh, hang on. Oh, bollocks. I rolled a 1 and a 5. I'm not going to push it because I don't want to take any stress. So, yeah, it doesn't work.
It's like, go fuck yourself. In Polish.
Now, is that a fast action or a slow action?
I'd say that's a fast action.
So he could take an unaimed shot?
Yeah, if he wants to.
Can I take aim at the...
You already took aim. So if you want to, you can take aim at him for a slow action and then shoot your next turn.
I'll do that. I'd also say to Blake, you just told us to go fuck ourselves in English.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's rude.
All right, Doc is taking aim action. Orchid is going to hang tough. Soviet soldier's dead. Flag, it's your turn.
All right. How far can I come in? Like, if I want to go in?
You can move up to 2 hexes. With a was it a slow action to move or is it a fast action to move? Let me
The
see.
fast action to move.
Fast action to move. If you want to move more than that, you have to make a mobility test, and for every success you get to move an additional hex.
Mm.
But 2 hexes is 20 meters, so
Because I was thinking about getting up to the suppressed guy, like all the way up.
yeah, you want to. Let me see. What's your objective? Do you want to? Yeah, you can get right next to him. You get within the same hex as him. Yeah. You want to get right next to him, or do you want to get into cover right here, behind these doors? This door jam, kind of.
I think I'm gonna use the opportunity for him being suppressed, moving up. I'm gonna move up and then shoot. So I'm gonna move up and cover where you marked
Okay.
it, and then I'm gonna shoot at him.
Okay. I'll say you have cover from like because the way the door jam is, I'll say you get small, so you have cover. Your right leg and right arm are kind of like sticking out with your weapon, but like the whole left side of your body and most of your torso is visible. You want to move your token? You want me to?
I can move it.
Okay. Boom. All right. Make sure when you fire, go ahead and roll a roll your -1 for a carbine.
Oh yeah, because I didn't aim. Yes.
Unnamed, yep.
-1 modifier right there, and I think I'm gonna put in a single ammo die.
Yep. He's prone, but he's in the same hex as you technically, so there's no minus to the roll for him being prone. So it's okay. So this, yeah. So normally somebody goes prone. It's a good way to make yourself small in a gunfight, and it incurs a -1 or -2 to the roll. But since he's in the same hex as you, it doesn't really matter.
Gonna pop in 2. And I'm gonna roll. And I'm rolling a 7. That gives me a success, a 2, and nothing on my ammo die. So
Okay.
I'm coming up with 1 success.
Yep.
I'm
Which
hitting
is
him, that's
a
good.
which is damage 2.
Yes. With a,
All right. So that is enough to kill him. How to describe how it happens?
so yeah, first off, for a few seconds ago, Flag is just spraying, just putting him as let down in there to get everybody's head down, and he can see one of them is painting the wall with blood, and the other guy is yelling blood or something and dropping to the ground, and Flag decides to use that momentum to push, so he moves up. He just moves aggressively. As soon as you see the guy on the floor, he just goes dang 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 dang, and it seems like he stops moving.
Oh yeah. Okay. Win.
Win is trying to, he's suppressed, so he's just trying to not get hit by dude's random spray fire from the
Okay.
loading bay.
All right. And then now your turn is over with. So you are
Well,
no
I can
longer.
mark off.
I got it for you. You're no
Okay.
longer suppressed. Boom. Blake. Did you want to say anything? I'll let you say something if you want as a free action. Did you want to say anything?
1 down, contact from the loading bay.
Okay. Blake.
I'm going to do a slightly risky thing
Oh, no.
and risk getting shot and move to hunker down over here. I think that's 10 meters, so that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, measure it. You can move up to 20.
Yeah.
So you get 11 meters, so you're
Yeah.
good.
And then can I see this guy over here?
No, you cannot, because it's kind of deceptive. Those registers have high backs where like they hang candy and stuff on,
All right.
and you kind of can't see. Think of it like a shelf. That's about head level of a standard person. I mean, Tall Tom would be able to see right over that shit.
Yeah, but
Right,
Blake
Depending how
is.
tall he is, right?
Yeah.
But Blake is.
No, he's wide. He ain't tall.
Yeah.
He's wide.
Blake is built like a brick wall. So
Yeah,
he's got
just a
square.
very short brick wall.
You're a Jethro Tull album.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he could move another 10 then, couldn't he?
Did you want to amend your roll based on your amend your movement based on your different understanding of the registers?
Yeah, I mean, basically what he's trying to do is kind of from where he is hunkered down in the office, he can't see anyone.
Okay.
I guess maybe
there's at least one tango unaccounted for.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to just kind of walk up to them standing. So yeah, he's trying to figure out a way to get good access to there. Is it that he moves around behind Doc and gets to kind of this position?
Yeah, so let's see. Let's measure that out. It's 10 to there and 8 to there. So you could move down to there.
Yeah. So still with some cover, but swinging kind of around to see who I can see.
Yep.
Who can I see?
Suppressed guy's not the threat right now, right?
He's not a threat. He's prone and you can see him.
Yeah, it's the missing Soviet guy or guys.
He'll be a threat next turn when he's not suppressed.
Right.
I mean, when you move up, is you see a guy who's prone with his weapon still in his hands.
But they all everybody's going to take action before he has a chance to do anything.
Well,
it's mystery Soviet guy that's.
Yeah, but I don't really know about mystery Soviet guys, so
that's why I'm saying there's one tango unaccounted for at least.
Okay. All right. Well, I know there were 4 of these guys, so yeah, I'm gonna shoot this guy on the floor.
Okay.
And I'll feel bad about it later, but right now.
Right. Go ahead and give yourself a -2.
Okay.
Because you didn't aim.
Yeah.
Because you used your fast action to move, and do your damage. Make sure you add in your. You have a machine gunner bonus.
Yeah. I have been taking that.
Okay.
And Blake really doesn't understand why the slider's there because it should just always be full, right? So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my
Jesus.
fucking god.
Well, at least they got the
Crazy.
many hits. And
Wow. So
Right.
that was 3 successes and a bullet dice, and then quite a lot of ones. Like
in the center of mass. Yeah, lots of ones on the ammo dice, but unless it's a push roll, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well then,
It just means you burn through ammo.
So you spent 12 rounds, which was well spent
yeah,
because that's
Solid investment.
That's 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. What does this look like?
like he sees the guy and then he holds down the trigger.
Yeah,
And then he doesn't see the guy because there's just this mist.
Have you
So he's
seen?
just like, it's-
Have you seen RoboCop?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
You know when
It's
Alex
too-
Murphy gets shot, right? By
Oh,
all them guys. Imagine that, but just one guy with a machine gun.
traumatized me as a 10-year-old. So there's just bits of poor Polish looter. The cognitive dissonance between me and my character right now could not be further. He's just bits of him everywhere, and I'll radio through and go, Win, that's 4 poles down. Do you say there's one in the wind and one of the Russians? And then that's probably all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Boom. Miko and Christina are staying where they're at. Marauder is dead. Soviet soldier. Soviet soldier is going to take aim and shoot at Win. But he still gets a minus because it's dark out.
And cover.
And you're in cover. That just adds armor.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Ouch.
Oof. Crap. Okay, so luckily your torso's in cover.
Yeah.
So that's additional 2 armor.
So this is interesting. So he rolled 2 6s, which is 2 base hits. The ammo didn't, just for people who can't see it, ammo didn't get any additional hits. 2 hits with this weapon, it does damage 2, and crits at 3, but you calculate crit after armor, is that correct?
After armor, yes.
Okay, so let's look at this. I get 1 armor for being in cover.
You have 2 armor because it's a car.
Oh, 2, that works.
Yeah,
and I have armor
cover.
myself.
Yep.
Plate vest has an armor rating of 2.
Okay, so you completely negate this attack because it's damage 2.
Yeah.
Plus his extra hit, which makes it damage 3. But your armor, the car, so the car basically takes most of the, the car tire and part of the engine, or part of the frame takes most of the energy out of the bullet, and it kind of just smacks you in the chest. And you,
I guess shoulder if I'm lying down.
Yeah, but it hit chest, so it.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, it traveled through car and.
Yeah.
Doesn't really hit. You could be just rolling into cover when he fired.
Okay, so I quietly say, "Fuck," over the column.
You quietly say fuck. Go ahead and make a coolness under fire roll.
Oh, let's hope it goes better than the last one did.
Can he can see flag smash, can't he? Flag
Yeah, I still got eyes on play. So I think unless he's crouched down.
No, you can't. But you got eyes on Orchid. Orchid's looking, and you're not punking out in front of him. So.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh.
You could push though.
He cannot push a coolness under fire roll.
Oh,
right.
Fair.
Yep.
It gives me the button option to push it in the tool, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's to taunt you.
Yeah, it should say, see what you can't do.
Like.
So I'm suppressed again.
Take 1 more stress damage as well.
Sweet.
I gave that guy a minus 3 to his, like a minus two total to his attack as well, because of visibility. He's just rolled really well. Okay, so boom.
Sign status effects.
Marauder's dead. Soviet soldier. What's he gonna do? He's communicating with his friends, so you can hear Russian being yelled back and forth. Doc can hear it, and Wynn can hear it.
And that's coming still from somewhere down here?
Yep, you can hear they're yelling at each other. 2 guys, 2 Russian soldiers yelling at each other. All right, Doc, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Papa Smurf, and I'm gonna go. Whatever, India. Is it India? All that bollocks.
But jazz hands. What are we? It's not time for a chorus line. English.
What are you trying to say with your hands?
I'm gonna move down here, and I'm gonna go on Overwatch. Facing that way.
Okay.
Can I move there? Hang on. Sorry, move down to there. And you said I can move 20.
Yeah, you can move 20 meters. So yeah, you can move there. And what do you want to do? Where do you want to pull Overwatch? Which direction?
Are you looking at doing Overwatch down in this direction?
I don't know why it does that. Why is it doing that?
You're okay. You just...
Yeah. You can take cover at the end cap of the aisle, right?
I'm going to be facing...
north.
That direction, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to go into Overwatch. If that's okay.
No, and are you crouched?
You can.
Yep. I'm not going. Hey, look at me over here.
Yeah. Which direction? No. Okay. Which direction are you in cover from? The south. Because remember, cover in this game, you can only be in cover one direction. So is it where that shelf is?
Ideally, I'd like to be there in cover.
Okay, go ahead.
Facing
you can
up.
move there.
Yeah.
You can move in cover. Okay.
And then with my handy signals.
That nobody can see because you're away from everybody right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
And what are the hand signals you wanted us to do?
Well, I was telling him without saying anything that I'm going that way. I'm gonna Overwatch. I don't know what Overwatch
It's this.
is. Oh, okay.
So you would just
I usually do that at customers and say, use your eyes. There's
I
signs
see you.
about.
Yeah,
There's
signs.
signs. Fucking read the signs.
Yeah. I'll
So
do
if I
that
was to
back,
tell,
and
if
then
I
I've
wanted
just
to
made.
tell you, if I wanted to tell you to Overwatch, I would say this. You would look at me and I'd go, and then point in the direction I want you to look.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. I do that, pointing at that last where I've gone to.
Gotcha.
And then pointing north, and then hold my gun up.
Yeah, Blake will do that back and forget he's got his nods on and just like leave greasy fingerprints right there. Oh man,
All right. Yeah, all right. You put shaving cream on your nod, so you.
Can I
there's a
Overwatch
film
with a
there, you're
grenade?
okay.
No, I'm not going to Overwatch with a grenade.
You could just toss it in there.
Yeah, but to be really quick, you should already take the pin out. That's how this works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Orchid's gonna.
That was
He's
my other
kind of
option.
like.
You just don't want to fumble if you're walking around with a live grenade.
Orchid's gonna move up. He sees that you're in a bit of a quandary. He's gonna move up and he's gonna shoot at Soviet soldier
Oh shit.
with his captured AK.
Don't die.
Hey, Blake,
Yeah.
Papa Smurf, we weren't babysitting now.
Don't die.
Yeah, no, we were told to do a different thing.
Attack. He's gonna go full auto, as much as he
No
can roll.
responsibility.
Boom.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that'll do it.
And he hit him in the
One
head.
hit.
All right, so
It's one
guys,
hit plus 2 additional hits.
yeah, so he got his 2 dice, even with his minus. So he got 1 hit and he got 2 hits on the ammo dice. He spent 7 rounds total. That's awesome.
Oh, it looks like 20 on the
Oh
counter
no.
here.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, 20. Sorry, I was looking at just the dice, the 2 numbers. Yeah, so he spent 20 rounds. He emptied almost a whole magazine, and he hit the guy twice in the head. So yeah, so this
Lights
even though he has like 1 armor, he still takes 2, 3, 4 damage to the head. So yeah,
And
this
Chris.
guy, yeah, you see this guy basically falls against the shelf there and slumps over.
Now, here's a question. If the
Here's an
person who was suppressing you is taken out on that turn, does it erase your suppression?
I don't know. We'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Sure.
I would say yes.
If somebody lets you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're
Hey.
ducking down,
Clear.
right?
Yeah. Theoretically, you could probably say like, oh, you're checking yourself, but in this situation, you know, I'd say yeah, you're fine. Flag, it's your turn.
It's initiative count 5.
Hmm?
My turn.
Yeah, Flag, it's your turn.
Just gonna, like, I'm keeping my cover there. I'm looking in. It doesn't seem like there's mod. Like, we got more. Doc.
Anybody can answer that.
Sorry, I couldn't make it out.
Yeah, polls are down. Wynn says one of the Russians is wandering around somewhere.
There's at least one more tango unaccounted for.
Can I see Orchid is flailing about with an AK?
Yeah, you heard an AK outside get shot. You can kinda look
Okay,
over-
I'm
you can
running
look over
outside
those
to look
photos.
at. Yeah, I'm running outside to look on that. Check on that.
Okay. Go ahead and move. How far do you want to go?
How to put on the ruler?
Just if you look over where you have the little silhouette of the person highlighted, there's
Yeah.
3 options. There's the select token, select targets, and there's a ruler right below that. Over on the left side of the screen.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Yes. Dee-dee-doo.
And I can move 20.
You can move 20. If you wanted to get to him, you could roll a mobility check.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to roll a mobility check.
Okay, because he's about 34 meters away. So you'd have to at least get at least one success in order to move one hex up to be within the same hex as him.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
So let's hustle.
I'm
Oh.
rolling 1-6 on my 6-sided dice and nothing on the 10, giving me a total of 1 success and 1 extra hex of movement.
Which succeeds.
Which
Yeah.
gets him 30.
Yeah. So it gets him within the same hex. Because this
Enough
map
to tell
doesn't
him
have.
to get back.
Yeah.
I say something like, well, get and down is in Polish, but then get the fuck down.
Okay.
Um,
He's taken enough English classes to understand that. He does speak limited English.
yeah, it's just I had a conversation with him in English, but I was like, Flagpole is flaunting his Polish, which is not very good. Also kind of angry, kind of want to get him out of harm's way.
Gotcha.
At this point, Flag is not very much concerned with trying to put some bullets down range. He's all about getting Orchid out of harm's way.
Cool.
Agreed.
So it's like grabbing his shoulder and throwing him against the wall, and then taking his place on the corner. If you can imagine that, it's like pulling him away from the corner, putting him up against the wall, and then I'm etching along the wall here to
Okay.
have a look around for next round.
Cool. All right. Win. Your turn.
Yeah. Win is moving here.
Mhm.
Which will.
So you were laying down, right?
Yeah. So I gotta hop up. No,
Yeah,
I
you
guess that's
That's a fast action to hop up.
yeah. And then slow action will get me, or I can do a mobility roll to try and get there. Is that the idea?
No, you can still go.
Okay. I was hoping to be able
that's
to.
a good point. Let's make a mobility check to
Yeah.
see if you can. So how many meters is that?
It's 15.
15 meters. So fast action to move up. Yeah, make a mobility roll. See if you can cover the extra 10.
Yeah. Because if I can cover the 10, I want to go on Overwatch at the end of my move.
Gotcha.
Which is here. No modifiers. No successes either. So
5 and a 2. Do you
yeah,
want to push
so,
it?
I'm not sure there's a particular consequence to pushing it, so let's see what happens.
If you roll a 1, which you did not.
Well, that'll do. 3 successes, a 6 and an
All
11
right. Yeah.
on the mobility
So if you
check.
roll a 1 when you push,
Yeah.
any one showing on the base die or any one showing on a new push die will result in 1 point of stress if it's an
Stress.
empathy or an intelligence check, or 1 point of physical damage if it is agility or strength.
Right.
So like
Okay,
maybe you
perfect.
sprained
Yeah,
your
you-
ankle. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like trying to get there, trying to push yourself.
Yeah.
But you did it. You good.
For sure. Okay, I'm on Overwatch then through the garage door of the loading bay.
Yep.
Down in this direction. So I'll figure out how to put that on.
And you could smell that UAZ engine. It's not smelling good.
UAZ. Oh, because they're running it off of.
That Jeep. It looks like it's been. I mean, it smells like it's overheated. Plus, it was burning oil. Plus,
Yeah,
it's
that's
got a
okay.
couple bullet holes through the front hood.
Yeah, the real question for me is, does it still run? Because if it can help us cover some of the distance we've got to go.
You would have
Might
to.
be
You would have to hop in and check.
Yeah, well, that'll be after everybody's
Yeah.
taken out.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm on Overwatch.
Okay.
And I guess that's partial cover.
Yep, you're in pretty good cover. It's just chesting up.
Yeah.
Over the top of the Jeep. All right, Blake. Machine gun Blake.
So yeah, I'm just weighing up the choice of I can run down there to a similar kind of position to Doc, which is only kind of 22 meters. We're sort of allowing that within the hexes.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. But up here is 30, but would open up a different angle of fire.
And get you closer to the kids.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm heading. So that I need to make a mobility roll to get to move 30.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see how this goes then.
Big money, no wins. There you go.
Ooh, so 1 success.
That's 1 is enough. That gets you that extra hex. So
Nice.
you use a fast action. You kind of hustle up there with all your ammo and stuff. And
Jostle.
yeah, you are in position. Where do you wanna aim? Basically, back towards that back loading dock door.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to go in Overwatch for your slow action?
Yes, please.
All right. You are in Overwatch. Miko, Christina, Marauder's dead. Soviet soldier. All right, I know what he does.
Who's
Doc.
running out of options?
Doc, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna pop the radio and go. I have the eyes on the door. Or I've cut the door. The doorway into the back is covered. Who is our commander? Who do I report to? Is it Owen?
That's up to you guys to decide.
Owen.
I think Win is the highest ranking.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, okay, Win. What's next? What? Would I be asking that, or would I know what to do next?
Well, you would just yeah, you could ask. Like, what are we doing
what's
here?
next?
Got the back covered.
Yeah.
And like Tom would, or not Tom, but Blake would be like, I got eyes on the kids. You know, you're communicating.
Yeah. So, and this is the thing, because we now got this area covered 3 different angles, but somebody still has to go in and find and engage the target, or we toss a grenade in. You know, it's one
Or
of the others. Like,
I will tell you, you could keep it covered, stay on Overwatch, and just someone moves and extracts the kids.
yeah,
You could do that as well.
yeah, I'm here for that. Let's get the kids out of trouble.
As a matter of fact, Flag, Trey, your Orchid, Albin turns around and he says, have your men seen my brother and sister? Are they in there? Any news?
Do we have eyes on the kids?
Yeah, I can see them from where I am, can't I?
They're like 10 meters from you, right?
Yeah,
the deli counter?
they're reading the deli counter.
And they're okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
unless the salami's really off, yeah, I think they'll be fine.
The kids are gonna be alright.
Oh, I'm just gonna stay in Overwatch then. I'm gonna let unless Blake, you would rather me move round and get the kids out. Would you rather me do that, Papa Smith?
I mean, to be honest, I'd feel safer with you not in the line of fire because you're the one who can patch us together. But oh yeah, and you speak Polish and everything, so yeah, maybe that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna run down. Oh fuck, you can't see. I'm gonna run down that way and start just go run down to there, and then try and aim to go up that way.
Yeah,
And then
keep
get
your eye open for Twinkies.
Flag, can you get their brother to join Doc at the entrance there? I know he's just around the corner, but I don't speak Polish. So if you can get Orchid to move down, he can collect the kids from Doc.
Yeah. So we.
We just keep our eyes on the we meaning
Sorry,
Parsons and I just keep our eyes on. I want Orchid to meet you, so the kids know it's okay to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're moving Bosniak in. Orchid in.
Yeah.
If we don't actually we'll
when
take
I
care
said
of
the kids are gonna be right, let's go meet them. And then
Yeah, but
I point down here towards room number 1.
I'll call through if I'm following all this, and they go, yeah, but like maybe not too close, because if bullets start flying, these shelves aren't going to be worth shit.
Okay, so what is your? So we'll discuss something real quick before we start going turn by turn with this. Is your guys' intention to extract the kids to the front of the store, and then deal with this Russian soldier inside? Or do you want to extract the kids and then everybody just leaves?
I think we're just going to bug out, aren't we?
Yeah, why not?
We're on a clock.
I don't care about shooting.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. We of course we're gonna cover our 6 so he comes after us, but I don't think at this point he was there for the groceries, not the kids.
I'm here for the groceries. Okay, so we'll end combat, and that's what you guys did. So because I know where the Russian guy is, I know what he's doing, and he's not popping out.
Okay.
So you guys can go in after him if you want, but
It's not on mission.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you just want to, okay, hey, cool, you just stay there. We're moving. So yeah, you go. So Doc, you move up, talk to the kids. They get moving. They're ready to come out with you. You say, hey, listen, explain to their brother or whatever.
Yeah.
Pop them over the counter, and you all run out the front of the building, or back down to where Flag is. And then where Orchid meets you with Anna. And Anna grabs the 2 kids, and she's like, oh. And she alternates between, like, shaking them and getting mad at them and hugging them, because she's so happy to have them back, but they were stupid to leave and sneak out of the house.
I'll kind of tap Doc on the arm and go, you see, we are the good guys. This proves it.
Okay. And then we'll take turns peeling back and covering our 6 until we can get back to the city scale map and leave this guy behind. We could spend lots of time looting people, looking for food, taking a vehicle and everything, but we're on a ticking clock, so.
Yeah, and we've got a camp to go back to. It's all going to be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Come on now.
We got a job to do.
Right. Preload scene. Activate.
Oh, good.
As I drag everybody over.
No, that's good, because we're already a little more than halfway to Rose, and we've got a couple of ways we can go about it. I believe earlier, and you can confirm for us, Nathan, I believe you said there was Soviet forces here and here.
Yeah, so you exit out. So here is the if you see the front of my my ping.
Yeah.
So there's the front of the grocery store.
Okay.
And you guys exit out the front. You need to get to here, Objective Rose.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm liking that, exactly, Tom. I'm liking that line of advance. There's lots of cover. It stays off the main road, but it's still getting us as close to Rose as we can go.
Alrighty. So this let's see, what time would it be? It would be
Oh geez, our scales are off. What do we say? This is 10 times scale? So where it's if it says 10 meters, it means 100 meters?
Yeah.
So we're only 400 meters away.
Yeah, you're not that far away.
Okay.
So you move down here, and go ahead and make whoever has the best recon roll, make a recon roll.
I believe that's me.
Yep. Because the gunfire is really like crescendoed as soon as you guys left like the supermarket.
No, I'm not getting the infiltrator bonus because I got these guys with me.
Yeah, you're not getting infiltrator. This is to.
Oh God.
Blah. I'll push that.
Okay, this is not a recon roll to. This is a recon roll to like assess the situation.
To observe.
Not for you guys to stay hidden. So if you want to push it, you can, but it's not a recon roll for you guys to stay hidden.
Yeah, I'd like to get a sense of the situation. There we go. So I hadn't rolled successfully. I had 2 3s on my D10 D8. I rolled again. I got a 9 and a 2, so that's 1 success.
Yeah, so you're moving up. You don't hear Gavel on the radio anymore.
Yeah, I've signaled Gavel. We're 400 meters out, moving to you now.
Yeah, they don't answer.
Okay.
And you have I want to say you can see like the spotlights from like older Soviet tanks on this street here.
Right.
And like this intersection, there's a lot of mechanized like Soviet combat power in this area.
And
you're hearing a lot of tanks and stuff.
We're hearing tanks. Are we hearing fire? Is it a live firefight with this heavy armor?
When you guys left the supermarket, you were hearing a lot of like tank rounds and stuff. By the time you move, when you get closer to it, the fire's kind of died down a little bit. Okay. And you hear the occasional machine gun, but you don't hear any main tank guns being fired anymore.
Okay, so they're doing mop up. They've taken the objective, either Rose's toast or they've skedaddle. We still have to confirm that because they're our ride out of here. But I'm hoping we can get an angle on it here where there's cover from this building and these trees. I can advance if necessary, or take a high ground point if necessary, observe the objective and confirm or deny without getting close enough to engage the Soviets.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to stay ground level, or do you want to try to move into one of those apartment buildings and go to a roof? What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to get a better view from a roof or balcony.
Okay.
If I can, and I'll probably move faster on my own. We've got 4 civilians to protect.
I would say if you're going to go into a building, I would say you could roll your recon. If you were going to go, if you're going to stay on the ground level, then we'd roll like the worst recon.
Yeah, I'm going up just to get eyes on the.
Okay, so go ahead and roll recon. Everyone kind of is going to hunker down, stay on like one of the floors below the roof, and go ahead and roll recon with your infiltrator bonus. And see if you can get eyes on objective Rose.
Okay, and it's a hit with a 9 and a 3 on 2d10.
All right. So you see objective Rose, or objective Rose is it's kind of like this shopping mall, this small like strip mall type shopping center. There's multiple stores in a big huge parking lot, and it's shot to shit. You see American like NATO Humvees with like 50 cals on them and stuff, which is kind of like blown to pieces and burning. It doesn't look like all of Gavel's unit, all of 101 MI got shot up here, but there's like a 5-ton truck that's burning, and there's like at least 3 Humvees that are on fire and messed up, and like a 113, which is it's like an APC without like a turret on it. A 113 is an armored vehicle, looks like a box, and
it's a box with treads.
Yeah, it's got a machine gun, very maneuverable, very very light vehicle. It's pretty cool, but it's got a machine gun on top, not like a turret, like a Bradley, like
it's
like a
and it's light armor
vehicle.
Compared to
I don't want to be
fighting people
spouting too much jargon.
Yeah, we have had a complaint on the YouTube video.
Yeah. Well, no, the one guy was like, was wondering if you should pick the game up because it sounds really military heavy, but just to folks that are listening, it is at its very core, it is a post-apocalyptic role-playing game in the wake of a World War III that never was. So I'm merely setting my game in the midst of a military setting for now, just so that the characters, the players here, get a real sense of what it's like to be in the military before they get tossed into an apocalyptic, mess.
Right. Sue, I believe, was the one who commented that if you've seen a war movie, you know enough to be able to play this game. You don't need to be jargoned up the wazoo or some sort of tactic.
And the books explain everything without throwing military jargon at you. They're great. They explain all the equipment and stuff without me like knowing what the nomenclature is for a night vision laser. Like you don't have to know that a PEC 2 or a PAC 4 is like a nomenclature for. You don't have to know any of that. It's just night vision goggles. It's not 7 Bravos or 7 Deltas or anything like I would know them as. So you get up and you see like Objective Rose is in it's basically overtaken. There's at least 4 Soviet tanks that you can see.
What was their extraction route? Where does it look like they would have been able to go?
They were gonna exit out the parking lot here, onto this main road here.
Yeah.
And then southwest out of the city.
But we're not able to get to Ray's Gavel on comms.
On the radio, no.
And how many kilometers are we from our battalion?
Ooh, you're like,
It was like 20 clicks or something?
a short chopper ride. So
Yeah.
you're a ways away, quite a ways away.
A good day's hike if you weren't worried about getting shot.
Yeah.
So it might be a couple days on foot unless we can get transportation and get on a road that isn't being shot up by tanks.
Yes.
So I'll signal. I'm gonna scout as much of the enemy force as I can. I'm gonna stay up here and observe while I let them know what I'm seeing. And I'll say, Flag, you got the sat phone. Can you connect with battalion and see if they have alternate extraction?
Boom. Let's look at.
Either that or friendlies nearby we can hook up with.
Yeah, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Looking at something because I'm going to. I'm looking for. I don't have here. No, I have it someplace else. Continue discussing what you guys want to do. Sorry.
Have you come back and told us this?
Well, no,
No, I've signaled you on the radio.
He radioed Flagpole to find out if he could contact base, right?
Yeah, I said Rose is compromised. I'm scouting multiple Soviet armor and other vehicles, along with infantry units, and what looks like half of 101 MI is frag at the objective. If anybody survived, it looks like they got out to the west, but our ride is gone.
All right. It's Doc who has the radar, right?
The
you guys,
sat phone. I thought it was you, Flag.
I
Flag.
have the sat phone.
Flag has a sat phone.
I
Yeah.
had the sat phone. All right. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yep. Getting that. I don't remember what was our team's call name again.
We are Razor.
We were Razor. Okay.
So
So
you'd
getting out
signal as
my
Razor 1.
yeah, getting out the satellite phone. Then I Razor 1, Razor 1 to home base.
I don't know if we'd signal Pale Rider because they were a chopper, but
No,
I don't remember a code for the Colonel. We would know it. The characters would know it. Players, I don't think it came up.
Okay, so yeah, you what did I say? What was their call sign? X-ray.
X-ray?
So yeah, you call them. You're like you're trying to get them on the radio, but it's sporadic, and you try to Flag gets him on the sat phone. He's called Operations Center. You can hear somebody. Somebody answers the phone. You assume it's Grigsby because not very many people have sat phones at this point. And Grigsby's kind of like he's like sorry to hear your situation. You can hear like he's in a vehicle being like moved, jostled around. He's like, I've given the order to abandon the offensive and move as rapidly as possible into Germany.
Repeat.
Don't say repeat. You'd say again.
Okay,
Repeat means
say again.
fire. It is like a mortar or artillery. Fire again.
Well, it's okay because he's CIA.
Oh, fair enough.
My character's
okay.
CIA, and
Yeah, you can say
I'm not actually a soldier, so if it's
No,
possible
true
to play in
And
the
there's
game.
there's tons of soldiers that say repeat.
Ugh.
It's pretty cool. They say it all the time.
then it says repeat signal.
Yeah, he's like, I've given the order to abandon the offensive and move as rapidly as possible into Germany. from like the western side of Poland. I'm
What?
going to attempt to reorganize the division if communications are available. Some of the remaining Polish troops, as well as the stragglers from other units and civilian refugees, are also capable of fighting. I'm trying to organize them as well.
Well, we need a Garam extraction here.
You should find another unit, if possible, to accompany to maintain some combat capacity and assist in gathering as much information and get Albin into Germany as fast as you can. The battalions and companies will move on their own until further notice. Higher command has radioed us and said that we're on our own. Operational command has been turned over to the lowest level of subordinate commanders on the ground, and everybody's trying to get into Germany and regroup.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah.
All right.
All that I
Anything
know is that we're on our own.
You're not helping me here. Well, I guess I catch you on the flip side. And then I shut out the phone.
Yeah.
So that was good news, right, Flag?
Yeah. We need to rendezvous.
All right, where we headed?
You're coming back to us, right?
Can you pull up the region map?
Yeah, let's look as you guys kind of hunker down for a second. Boom, 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 boom. No, that's welcome to Twilight. Hold on. Scenes, corset, travel map. Map of
Eckert, you come back here?
Not yet. I've got good position to observe our different sort of routes of advance, or so I don't want to come down until we've scouted out how we're going to try and get out of this town.
See any wheels from up there?
Yeah, well, all that stuff. So yes, but we don't know what is running, what's going to have gas, what has keys, all that stuff.
Right.
And none of us are particularly tech-minded.
We'll take it on the radio. Okay, guys, this is the situation. High command is and base camp is pulling out. They're making their way to Germany. We got no air support, no artillery. Gavel is out. Everything's out, and we are basically on our own.
Huh.
We need to move Orchid to Germany.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
how far is that?
And Germany
Fucking
means
long.
West Germany in this case.
How
So
how far?
We're a whole country away.
Yeah, you are, let's say 30, 40, 50, 60. You are, let's see, it's 10K per hex. So you are 90K away from Wroclaw. You're about 90 kilometers. You're 90 kilometers northeast of Wroclaw.
Is
And
Wroclaw
Wroclaw-
Germany?
No, Wroclaw is where the headquarters unit was. Germany is another, let's say, from Wroclaw, it's another, let's say, 80 kilometers, maybe 100 kilometers.
Huh.
Another 100 kilometers due straight west.
Yeah, we're gonna get blisters, and I wish I packed a spare pair of pants.
Guys, we need a
Underpants,
ride.
jockeys.
Don't forget, you can change into civilian clothing to try to blend in as well.
Yeah, I think that worked great for me. He says, hoisting the massive machine gun. Okay, so yeah, what we're doing, Win?
Okay, so objective for scouting before I get down from here is can I see other areas of massed enemy troops to the south or the west?
Let's go to drop zone. Activate.
And there's a river we have to get across, so I know where one bridge is following that main road that Gavel took. But are there other ways across? And are there any vehicles that look like they'd be accessible?
Yeah, not that you could see from this position. You can kind of see sporadically where the river is, but not where, like, maybe you can see some lights off the distance where you think bridges are.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also, let me look real quick. I'll just say you could also exit south or north out of the city. Because and then try to cross the river at some point outside the city where you don't have to like contend with people overwatching a bridge. But it might be better, like in your professional opinion, it's better if you move north or south out of the city. You don't move directly west through like Soviet forces, which are pushing west.
And that's what I was trying to eyeball, is where are they moving and what's our sort of lane of least resistance to get clear, and then we can figure out.
It wouldn't really be south, it would be north. North would be the clearest of forces, but you do have a better chance of trying to run into friendly military stragglers maybe if you move south. It's up to you.
South is away from this massive Soviet armor, so I'm voting for south. Oh, I mean, like literally 80 meters from where I'm looking, there's a bunch of trucks and tanks and other things. So I'm going to say, at least for the immediate, let's go half kilometers south and see if we can find a vehicle and get out of town.
Okay. Boom. Nope, that's.
Do we have a larger scale map of the city?
No, but it's not for the purposes of this. What you're going to do, it's not important.
Oh, I guess we moved to hex movement, right?
Yeah,
like
but it's not. Not really. Not just yet.
Okay.
That's maybe next session, or there might be some stuff at this session. So, do you guys want to take any time in this building, do anything, or do you want to immediately start moving south away from this stuff and try to get out of the city right now? It's up to you. I'm not trying to steer you either way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I guess it's still night, right? Maybe we should.
It's still night.
Get a shimmy on.
Yeah, take advantage of the night while we've got it. The Soviet units I see are pushing west, so like sort of through objective rows, basically, and following the retreating 101 unit. Is that fair?
Yep. And those tanks are from. So if we go back to the map of Poland.
Yeah, I saw you moving some units around.
Yeah, so evidently the tank unit, 12 guards that were in loads, are now in Kalisz.
Okay.
And that's the tank unit those are the tanks that you're seeing. Right. So evidently the Russians have pushed. You don't know, all these kind of friendly units here are up and kind of in question.
Right, they're either taken out or falling back.
Yeah, so we'll grab these guys and fall back.
Wow, so we're literally behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
Yes. You are behind enemy lines.
Roll at Twinkies.
All those Twinkies.
No, enemy armor units are going to be, to the extent that they've got gas, because they're low on resources too, right? But if the enemy is going to be advancing mostly along roads, we're going to encounter less if we're going cross country, but we're also going to move slower.
Yes.
Like if we can cross down here somewhere and head through this stuff, we'll avoid, what do they call it? Imperial entanglements.
And that's kind of high ground as well. That's a higher elevation than the rest of the this whole area where my ping is. That whole area right there, that ring of woods and stuff in amongst those towns, that's all high ground. If you actually look at an actual map of Poland, that's a wooded hill. It's a hilled wooded area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of cover, but tougher terrain for civilians to be traveling on.
Yeah, to be walking over.
But there might be like hiking trails or whatever, something.
As far as you know, you got nothing but time at this point.
Right. But we also have limited food, no fuel, only the ammo that's on our backs. So we'll have to resupply somehow, somewhere. But for now, let's just get out of the city. You mentioned wanting to do XP and adjustments of goals.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of like, we can do this. We don't really have to.
We've only got an hour left, so might as well just do it at the end of the final hour, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I just don't know how long we need for it.
Yeah, it's
How
not.
long
It's
will
not
it take?
too long. No,
Okay.
it's not too long at all. It's just a tally, and then you'd write how much you have down, and then when you get you can spend it. I think you spend it when you're in camp, but we'll because it's possible for you guys to camp inside the city, but we'll get that in a couple of minutes here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need let's look at you guys are moving out of the city. This music is awfully ominous.
Can't imagine why.
Can't imagine why.
The last NATO offensive has been scrapped and they're in full retreat.
Run away!
Everybody's running away.
The question is, can they run faster than the Soviets can resupply their units with fuel?
Yeah, or do the Soviets want to pursue? So
right.
you so you move let me look at this real quick.
I will say this map is lovely, and there are some fantastic names that I will not try to pronounce for these towns.
I looked at like a Polish translation to how to pronounce like Polish words and stuff.
Right.
I couldn't commit enough to memory with just like a cursory glance to get it.
All good.
So yeah. Where is? Oh my goodness. Where are these dudes at? Ever hide units on a map so well you don't even know where you put them?
Yeah, I've had that happen in World in Flames.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're good. We're good. Just highlight the whole thing. You're going to see this in a second. It's going to blow your minds. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to need, I'm going to want, going back to map of Poland. So I'm going to need a recon roll from, let's see.
Worst?
While it's moving through the map. No, it's going to probably be the best. Because while moving through like a map and keeping watch, it's the person with the best recon keeps rolls for the group. But when you're trying to sneak and infiltrate as a group, the person with the worst recon rolls.
Right.
So
this is just keeping an eye out to avoid being ambushed.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is you're trying to move through the city, noticing problems as they arise and dealing with them.
Okay.
In order to exit out the south end of the city.
Anyone have better than D10 and D8?
Ooh,
No.
I think so.
don't think so.
And yet, no successes.
Can you
All
push?
right.
Push,
Yeah,
push,
I can push.
Do you want to push?
I do. There we go. 9 and 3.
Ouch.
Boom.
Oh, no, I won. What is that? The dice disappeared. What's the results? 4 and
There's a
2
1
went
and a
away. And is
3.
that a 1 and a 3? They actually
Yeah.
went down.
That's a 1 and a
Okay.
3, so you take 1 stress.
One more stress. And we haven't rested, so I haven't had a chance to clear any stress.
Yeah,
No.
I am
this
at
is a
3 of
stressful
4.
situation.
I'm at 3 of 4 for stress.
Okay.
Is it possible to? No, only when you go down. Can we
But
do?
Wynn's been, can you rally with a command roll?
Yeah.
But Wynn's been Wynn's been shot, suppressed. He's stressing out. All right. So Wynn's spidey senses is tingling. You know that the area you're about to move through is like the southern, moving kind of southwesterly through the city. Preload.
Do our locals know anything about the city as we're advancing? It's like, where can we find cover? Where can we find food? Where can we get change of clothes? Any of that stuff?
Now you're far enough. You're far enough south at this point that it has. How do we say? Out of the area that they were scrounging in around the city.
So it's not a familiar neighborhood, and it's probably not especially intact.
Back in the day, yeah, it's not intact.
Okay.
Let's look at it.
Oh, I don't know any tokens.
He'll bring our tokens over. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, you tokens.
We have a new neighborhood map opening up called Block Party.
Block Party, yeah. Blake, Wynn, Doc. Can you guys see anything?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Let me adjust this token. Doc display name has vision. Has vision doesn't work. Close. Let me configure this. Configure the map. Lighting. Token vision. Nope. Fog exploration. Nope. Save changes.
There's the view.
Did that open it up for you guys?
Oh boy.
We have a couple of phantom status markers on the map.
Yeah, that's because you guys, Blake and Wynn had Overwatch status markers. Yeah, you guys can take those off. And I have to move. We're gonna take a break, but I'm gonna move. I have to move Orchid's icon onto here as well, and the Chillins. Probably just Orchid will stay with his family. He'll represent his whole family. So, move. Keep your characters on the map. We'll move flag back over here. And then Win. Boom. Boom. All right.
There we go.
All right. So, this should be, let me see if this map is to scale. I think this is to scale. Yeah, it's to scale. So you can count hexes for movement instead of actually having to measure.
Gotcha.
You can measure in a pinch if you want to. That'll be easy. So you're moving into this area of the city. Just on this side now, the sun is starting to come up, because you guys have been moving for a couple hours now, and the sun is starting to come up. But you have to move through. You basically have to exit out the city on either this hex here or this hex here. Not hex, but this map.
Okay.
You have to move to this map and kind of get out.
So south or southwest?
Not as like a tactical, but it'll put you in the best option in order to like travel outside the city and move and find cover once you're clear of the city.
Would it be worth looking for an abandoned building maybe and hunkering down until night?
Potentially, yeah. We can, to Nathan's point, he was saying we could try and hold up in town till the next night and move under cover darkness, or we can try and push ahead now, get clear of the city before more Soviet forces arrive, if they do, to consolidate the position. Wynn is pretty strung out himself. He is got a pretty high level of stress, and he's looking at the civilians, and I'm assuming he's seeing the same from them. They haven't eaten well in days or weeks. They've just sort of had to hoof it through city under fire for a couple hours at night. So wondered whether we needed to grab 10 minutes just to assess them and figure out whether we push ahead now or find a place to hunker down.
All right, cool. Well, I think it'd be worth finding a place to hunker down because I think we have more. Because we've got night vision goggles. I think we have more advantage at moving at night, right? What do you think, Flagpole and Blake or Papa Smurf?
Yeah, makes sense. I'm all for hunkering down, but I think we've learnt, right, that like the Polish aren't automatically on our side. Like that's news.
Sure, shoot first, ask questions later, yeah?
Well, no, well, that wasn't quite where I was going. I was just saying, like maybe like we don't want anybody to, like it's not just the Russians, like nobody must know where we're hunkering down because they'll shop us. Apparently, they do that now.
At the very least, don't turn your back.
Yeah.
There's a good military saying: "Trust but verify."
I don't know what that means.
Trust but verify. We want to trust people do the right thing, but we want to verify that they actually did it. Or that, you know what I mean?
What do you think we should do, Spooky Pole?
Well, we need to. It was never a question whether the Poles was potentially adversaries. That's been part of the engagement all along. But hunkering down, we need to make sure that we do not get caught up, and we are very well hidden because moving hidden in the night is not going to help us if we don't make it to the night.
Sure.
My larger concern is we hunker down now, and by morning, instead of fleeing the leading elements of the Soviets, we're surrounded by the Soviet army.
Yep.
And since they're heading west,
well,
I think if we continue to push south.
But the problem is, though, they're in vehicles, so regardless of, and we're on foot, so regardless of what happens, we will be surrounded by them much faster,
Yeah, it's just like running from a train. You can run down the tracks away from the train, or you can get off the tracks. And I'm saying let's continue south, get off the tracks, get out of the way of their advance, and then we can hunker down, rest for cover.
All right. So like find a wooded area.
But
something like
a barn.
When
barn.
You don't look to be holding out too well.
I've had better nights. I can get us out of here.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about them too.
Do I have anything that can reduce his stress at all? Do I have any like drugs or anything?
My missus says I give a good back rub. Is that gonna help?
Go
we
fuck
ain't got
yourself,
time
boss.
for a night five.
Okay.
A knuckle shuffle. We ain't got time for that.
What is the stress recovery mechanism, Nathan?
The stress recovery mechanism is a shift spent resting and sleeping. You cure 1 point per shift resting, and you cure 1 point of damage, stress, or healing. But you can do both by sleeping for a shift. Barring that, if you are broken due to stress or due to health loss, then you can immediately get back points by a medical aid roll or a command roll if it's stress, respectively. Barring that, copious amounts of drugs, if the situation would warrant it. I could rule that too, but there's not really a situation now. It's not like doping somebody
Would that
up
be a stimulant or a sedative?
Like I said, as the situation warrants, it depends.
Right.
Depends on how
how
the individual user would prefer, but that's not like. I mean, you could also relieve stress due to like reading a book or listening to music or something. I could say that you might cure 1 point for seeing something cool or whatever, or something, or having a wank. Yeah, having a quick wank, but use especially a Western style grip. Notice that the thumb is open for exploring. Anyway, that's a That's an old stand-up joke. I didn't make that up. None of those options are feasible or, you know what I mean, would be reasonably, you could be reasonably expected to pull off at this point. So like doing drugs isn't going to help. You're not going to see anything that's soothing, or, you're still in the midst of a combat zone right now. So
I think we just got to push through. I just wanted to make sure the civilians are able to keep going. If they are exhausted, then we're not going to be able to sneak well with them. We're gonna have kids passing out on, in the middle of the clearing.
Now, if you want to, you can actually roll to make camp,
Which would give us a place where we could take that shift to rest.
Exactly, and you could hunker down, or you could take 2 shifts. You could take a shift to rest and a shift to sleep, and wait 12 hours until dark again. That could be what you do, and unless you can push through. I'm just saying you have that option.
That'll help me. What do the civilians need? What does Orchid and his family need?
I mean, they can go if they have to, but they'll take the kids will gladly rest.
And kind of food and drink wise,
you need to you need to consume at least 1 day's rations within 1 shift in a day.
Yeah, how much food has people got? Because I gave myself the starting rations that my stuff started with.
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah, I have 2. The one I started with and the one they gave us.
Why did I start with so much more?
Because your part of your starting gear was rations.
Oh.
Not only do you shoot people in the legs and execute prisoners, but you also feed the needy. So
I took extra ammunition and you took extra rations.
Yeah.
From the list
I've
we
got
could pick from.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rations.
Yeah.
I think Win, if you can push through, we're gonna make the civvies push through too.
I have a question about the rations. Because it says MRE, and most MRE kits come with the with those tablets you put in water to purify it, right?
No, they do not.
Oh, they don't?
They might in this setting because the place has been irradiated and in a conflict zone.
I've seen so many people eating rations on like YouTube, which is why I want to try rations.
The things you spend and find on YouTube.
But when they do it, there's always like a couple of tablets to do with purifying water, like purified tablets. Yeah.
No, I don't know any tablet other than like iodine, like an iodine tablet you could drop in, but not in modern military MREs, not in the military, not even in the MREs from like the 90s. They had those. They have iodine tablets, but they're not in your MRE.
They might be part of your. Like personal med kit
I'll send
stuff.
you some videos, Nathan. You can go, well, what are they then? And then you can
I mean, I've got 4 MREs here. I can go grab one and open it up on camera and show you. There's no tablets in that thing.
A question. Now we are nerding out about gear. Nathan, how do you supply troops with water? That seems just as important as, and you can't make an MRE without water.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about an MRE is you don't have to use water to heat it up. You can eat it cold.
Okay,
it's perfectly edible cold. But troops that have troops have like a supply element to them, like a company company level has a supply element to them. And like if you're at like a place where you have a base, you have like a constant supply of like food and water, or like you have like, let's say you'll have like a month's worth of food, but you get resupplied every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So like you have a little bit of overlap if you can't get resupplied, or you get resupplied weekly, but you have like you get like decent chow, but you have like a stockpile of like rations. So in case everything goes to crap and they can't make it to you in a month, you still got like, month or 2 months worth of food.
And same thing with water. Of water called a water buffalo. They've got a chef, a quartermaster, all that stuff. Now the chef is not making fancy stuff. They're making like pails of instant mashed potatoes. Like it's not great food, but it'll keep you going.
Yeah, and you didn't have to make it yourself. Like the
Exactly.
the thing with the soldier in hot chow is it doesn't matter really. It all kind of tastes bland past a certain point, but and depending on how long you've been eating it, but it's hot. It's warm chow, and you didn't have to make it yourself. You just had to queue up in line and get it. So it's solid gold. But there is you have like a water buffalo, and you have like your own personal water, and then you have like whatever water you have on the vehicle, and then you have like the company like has like a water supply point, and the supply sergeant will drive off with that every so often and fill it and bring it back.
Okay.
And there's
Usually
rules for that in this game for supplying a camp.
Right. So how
So we can get
how
to
are we
that.
gonna? Because how many days how many days travel is it going to take us to get to Germany?
On foot with
Yes.
these guys,
Yes.
I would measure it in weeks.
Right. We've got less than a week. Well, we got less than a week of supplies.
Yeah, we're gonna have to scrounge. We're gonna have to hunt and do whatever we need to.
Okay. As long as we don't eat nothing but rabbits, we'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean for purification, I mean your first stop is always boil it. And there are tablets and stuff you can drop in for Giardia and other infections, but boiling is the starting point.
I think
water.
we've got our priorities wrong. I've got 5 cigarettes. Can we just talk about that for a moment? Like,
there's going to be crappy full of cigarettes to scrounge.
As a doctor, I advise you to stop smoking.
Yeah, but I'm going to get real antsy.
Albin's like, that's good advice. That's good advice.
We just been in a firefight.
It's great. I tried patches. It didn't work.
In 20 or 30 years, you might get cancer. You don't want to smoke. Never mind surviving the next 20 or 30
All right,
minutes.
but when I get cranky in 5 hours, like, don't you all complain to me because I flagged it up as an issue.
Yeah, and when you're getting the shakes and firing on our position with your automatic weapon, we'll understand if you hit us a couple of times.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're all on the same page. Let's go.
Good times.
So it sounds like we agree that we're moving. We're moving.
I think we need to push through until we can get clear of the advance and then make camp, feed, and sleep.
Good.
Okay.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Just keep an eye on them.
So you guys can move. Feel free to move your. What's the route you guys want to take out of here?
Well, I'm babysitting because that was my order, so I'm back.
Yes.
I'm hanging back with the
You're with Orchid,
and then I'm babysitting you.
My preference was because we can continue to use these buildings as OPs or observation points if we need to, was to go south and then across, because I don't like the idea of this open ground in the middle. So the more we can move with cover, the better.
Cool.
But it means we have to keep an eye out for locals, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We don't want to encounter local people.
Yeah. I just definitely don't want to be in the middle of this zone.
Would it be worth taking off our I assume it's felt like the badges, right? Like the Union Jack or whatever. That's all Velcro, right? Isn't it? It's all attached by Velcro.
No, not in the 90s.
Oh, all right.
In the 90s, that shit's sewn on. But it would matter because you have uniforms on that are blatantly NATO and American.
And our gear is all American. I mean, even the shape of the profile of your helmet and your nods is enough to identify you.
I mean, you could get away with eventually if you ditch your uniforms and went to civilian clothes. You know what I mean? And got rid of your helmets got rid of your helmets and your body armor and stuff unless you were going on an assault, unless you were going to actually assault the position. Then you'd put your helmet and your body armor on. You kind of try to walk through the countryside incognito dressed as civilians. You could do that.
I think we do that stuff once we get a vehicle or a cart or something where we just look like any other group of refugees. But we want to keep our gear with us, not necessarily on us. But I don't think we're there yet.
Okay, so Your route out of here is through this area here. Hold on, let me through this area here.
There we go.
And through, then down to here.
Yeah. So if across the
And
top is 1, 2, 3,
Through here.
the middle is 4, 5, 6, and the bottom is 7, 8, 9, then I think we want to go 3, 6, 9, 8.
Okay,
But-
that was thoroughly confusing, but I get it. I followed your little
We're
icon.
doing an L-shaped, a backwards L-shaped.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nice
But-
move in chess.
But were you saying avoid the picturesque park and go down the back of that tile, or are we taking in the greenery?
Yeah, I don't want to be out in the open where a bunch of people have, especially in elevated positions, can see us and pin us down if we get into a firefight.
Yeah.
So keeping in cover as much as possible. Frankly, if I had my druthers, it depends on what's behind us. But if we were literally at the edge of the map, moving along the back side of these tall buildings to the right, I would be happier about that than moving across that garden space in the middle.
Yeah.
But it depends what's behind us.
Yeah, you want to avoid the danger area.
We
So
just want
roads,
you want your open ground to be as short as possible.
Yeah, roads, rivers, big open spaces, even in the woods or in a city, or like well-worn paths. So in the military, we call those danger areas,
Right.
because they're areas of traffic or easy observation. So you kind of skirt around that stuff or move across the single file line as fast as possible to go across a road while setting up security, stuff like that. So always kind of want to be covered and concealed. And when you move, you want to move to a point where if anything happens while you're moving, you can get to cover or a concealed position quickly. It's kind of how you want to think about moving.
But just to be fair, Nathan, like
Yeah.
we pretend there's more city than what we can see here. So
Yeah.
if we don't move on the backside of buildings, because basically the city we can't see could also be an elevated position that could shoot us. So if we keep to pretending everything outside the map is dangerous, and then we relate to everything on the map, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can move on those back half of buildings. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can move in amongst that stuff. That's okay. You guys failed your recon roll, so nothing bad's gonna happen.
Not at all.
So
Oh, that's excellent news.
excellent news. So yeah. So,
we've all taken the opportunity to reload our weapons and clear jams and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. How do I do that?
you automatically do it. Don't worry about it.
Alright,
But
cool.
go actually go to the thing and reload your weapon. You could do that.
Oh yeah, I need to
You-
reload my pistol that I shot 9 bullets from.
Yeah.
How do I reload? Do I just click generate ammo?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
I think generate ammo just adds another quite heavy box to my inventory, doesn't it?
Like it adds mag equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I
could
don't know.
be wrong about it.
Fiddle with it for a minute.
All exciting to learn. Yeah, it adds up mag, which
It doesn't pull it from your inventory.
it looks like it adds it rather than pulling it. Oh, maybe. Oh no, yeah, I see. It does. It adds a new one in your backpack, basically, which I will now delete.
Boom.
So I just need to take my 7 mags and drop down to 6. And based on this 2 weeks now of trying the rate of fire ammo bonus to get additional hits, I think I'm just gonna not do that anymore for this weapon anyway.
We've all learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, you do as much auto shooting as you can, and me not so much.
Okay, so for the purposes of this movement you guys are making,
Hmm.
are you moving from left to right, down, down this street or down this street here?
I'd prefer to cut through, if it's okay with everybody. I'd prefer to cut through this space. I don't know if you can see a ping there.
Yep, I got you.
There. And come across this way, because if we break earlier, we still got all this open space to worry about.
Let's see. So you're gonna go past this area right here, moving south.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who's in the lead?
Not me.
I'm assuming that's still me.
Okay.
With Parsons on our 6.
Does that mean the back?
That means the back. Yes, 6
That
o'clock.
means behind him.
Okay, I can do that. Ah,
You're
Yeah,
babysitting
moving
me,
everybody.
bitch. That's what
Sorry.
you're doing.
Yeah, I'll
You-
move
you've
everybody
got-
down there.
cool.
And Doc and Flag are wrangling our little
So who's
cohort
in?
of
Let's see.
civilians.
Doc is here. Where's Doc? Doc's there. He's in that hex with them. Flag, are you in a hex by yourself or are you with somebody?
Never in a hex with someone else.
Okay, you're in a hex by yourself. Blake and Wynn, are you guys in a hex together, or are you? Are
So
you
I was
separated?
suggesting Blake be at the back of the group.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to be
Um,
in your own hex, Blake, or do you want to be? You want to be 10 meters away from?
I mean,
Standard military formation is yes. You would have a degree of separation from
Yeah.
from people.
great.
Always the first to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
You
the
don't
first
want to be in a place where someone with an automatic weapon can take you all out, or grenade blast or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
But moving the civilians is going to be the challenge, because they're going to clump up, right?
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in one hex, along with so 6 total with James, with Doc.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're moving down. Now you guys just kind of like spacing out when you cross these streets, or when do you stop and like look down the street and cover, and then okay, it's time to move, and then you move? Like, how are you guys moving through streets?
Yeah, anywhere where there's an open line of fire on our passage, I've got to scout it, then send I guess it's Flag up front, the next unit behind me, right?
Mhm.
Send Flag across, then he covers while I advance, and then we leapfrog that way, bring the rest of the folks over. We need to make sure there's cover down range before anybody moves.
Okay, so do you cover one side of the street, Flag covers the other, and then everybody moves, and then you move and go past everybody and take up the first position again?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so you move and cover. Let me see. Let's see. When moves
Like, it
up.
looks like there's some trees there or something.
Yep.
Or some hard cover.
Flag beats feet across. We'll put you in. You want to be behind the trees? You want to be behind that hard cover there, that wall?
Let's do the wall.
Okay. I'll say you're in cover behind that wall. We move the group down here, getting ready. And a shot rings out.
As the civilians start, or
Nope. As
when-
as you guys are pulling security,
Okay.
you hear a shot.
Can we make it the kind of round?
Yeah, it's a single fired, well placed, well aimed, possibly a sniper.
Okay.
Let me see. None of the modifier is a minus. -1, but there's a +2. So that's a +1. Okay. And this sucks. Oh, wait a minute. He is -1 for range because you were just out of short range of him. So that breaks down to +0. So I'm just working out these modifiers.
Mhm,
This is important. I don't want to unfairly murder somebody.
No, you want to fairly murder them.
I want to fairly murder them, yes, within the context of the rules. I don't want to cheat anybody out of a good death. So he is elevated. You are not. Okay.
Oh shit!
Damn.
That is that's a crazy roll. So sniper shoots and luckily catches Win in the torso. But he's got concrete, so it's gonna be there's gonna be at least 2 armor because you're kind of like you're leaning out. So I'm gonna say there's like an edge of a building with you. So the guy kind of like he kind of judges, where he's gonna take the shot. He takes a shot. There's 2 8s rolled with a hit to the torso. That's 2 different hits. He's of course going to up the damage, try to punch through that armor or punch through that damage.
Damage. It's just glancing off the concrete wall basically in front of me, which is taking some of the velocity off and then smacking into my chest plate, basically.
Exactly. So I'll give you armor 2. And actually let's look at let's look at
Does have armor value for different kinds of terrain?
There is, yes. Combat.
Because we want to soak as many of those as we can. Either way, I'm pretty sure this is another stress point.
If you fail your
barriers,
like coolness under fire.
Yeah.
I better not fail that.
Concrete wall is 3 armor.
Sweet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I found it on. I can't share it, but it's on. If you
Gotcha.
go onto the combat and damage and go look for barriers, it's on there.
Yep, got it. Cool. Barbed wire, divided hexes, doorways, concrete wall, brick wall, height high. Yeah, we'll say it's concrete. Why not? So 3 armor. So it doesn't do any damage.
But it stops roll coolness under fire.
Yeah, I will say this, the concrete wall stops 3 of it. It's 4 damage, stops 3 of it. Your vest catches the other.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a coolness under fire roll.
Can you succeed this time, please? Thank you.
That would be swell, wouldn't it?
So you don't take any more stress.
Unit morale.
What happens when you hit stupid?
Roll.
Oh, thank God.
There we go. Thank goodness.
All right, you pass.
Okay. Do I have a muzzle flash?
No, roll recon.
Okay. I don't think I need to tell people we're under fire.
I'm putting my head on the hand on my children, putting the hand on the children and pushing them down.
Bloody hell. But I can push that, right?
Yep.
If I push it and fail, it means I'm exposed, presumably.
No. If you push it and fail, you get a 1 that you might take 1 stress, which you just did.
Like that.
But you did succeed.
Okay.
What happens when he hits 5 like max stress? What happens there?
Yeah, let's find out.
So what happens is you do spot the sniper.
Yep.
He is about 100, maybe a little more than 100, maybe 120 meters away.
Yeah.
Up on top of this building. I don't know if.
Sorry, can you ping it?
Yeah, I'm gonna ping it. I have to find my shift key.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah.
Yep. But. So, yeah, but. So you say build, direction of travel. You give a clock direction and you say, up on the roof. So you say, 3 buildings down, 3rd floor roof. And you tuck back into cover. Let me grab your guy. You're going to tuck back into this alcove because you have just about had it.
Right.
So you're like, come on. I saw that shot. I thought I saw that shot. And then you realize you didn't see that shot. And for a split second, you think this guy's going to shoot again. Shit. And you kind of come unglued. So you whip back into cover. You spot the guy. You whip back into cover. You give you say, 12 o'clock building. You know what I mean? Building.
Yeah.
Not 12
It
o'clock.
took me too long to place him, long enough for him to have chambered another round and be ready to fire again.
Yeah.
And
you
so you
kind of slump down. having almost, having been shot in the chest twice already.
Yeah.
And you're feeling the effects of taking point for too long.
I hear you.
And you're basically you're not incapacitated, but you can't really do anything except duck down and take cover.
So I'm now at stress 4 of 4.
Do I need to do something? Can I do anything to do it?
He is broken.
Yeah. So
how you heal? Yeah. So how you
command.
heal stress with broken is somebody has to make a command roll. Anybody can make a command roll, but what you want is you want the person with the highest command, because for every success you get on the command roll, it gives him back a point of stress instantly.
So that would be Flag on his turn here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess it's better that I provide some cover fire than start running across an open field of fire to try and get you up when Doc is also pretty capable of getting you up, right?
You don't need to get me up. You just need to shout at me to get my head in the game, basically.
But
you can do that from there. As a free action, or is it a fast action?
Yeah, what I'm seeing, I'm trying to think if we want to, Flag, are you going to duck in behind cover, or are you going to kind of stay in the fight?
Let's take it. Let's take my first. I think this is a firefight. I'm going to go. My first instinct is not try and go over and help. It didn't seem like he was hurt. He just seems like he's. Oh
yeah, no, he's saying. I'm saying shit. Sniper. He's got a line on us. Yeah. Stay in cover.
So it doesn't register the flagpole that you're out of the fight. So I want to get some bullets back. And since they got the first shot, I need to put in extra bullets. So yeah, I'm peeking out to try and put some shots down there.
Okay, let's.
It's less important to hit them. It's not marksmanship. It's making sure that they don't get superiority of fire.
Yeah, you want to.
Try.
You want to go ahead. Yeah, you want to suppress them. Okay, so let's roll for initiative for the whole group. Boom. And
you're going up. You're going from highest to lowest.
Yeah, hold on. I didn't change the name. Hold on a sec. Identity.
Fucking hell. How the hell do you say that?
Major Cadet Christoph. It's Christoph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gigolo.
Gigolo.
I don't know the J sound. I don't think it's the J sound.
Ghetto. Yeah.
I don't know if the J works the same as it does in German.
I have no idea.
Maybe one of our Twitch followers.
I didn't update token. It should be Orchid update token. There we go. All right, Orchid rolled the highest. So let's begin combat. Orchid's like panicking. Holy shit. Let's go ahead. Get down. Let's go ahead and
get down, baby.
The beautiful music.
At least you're not in the middle of the street, Doug, holding up a letter from your loved one or whatever.
No, exactly.
Can you send this letter to what's it called?
I can't believe I'm going home next week.
Saying Ryan's Privates. No, that's the porn version. Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Saying Ryan's Privates. Okay, yeah, you.
So have I got, I figured out, judging by how Flag and Co are reacting, I know it's coming from the west, right?
We told us.
Yeah, he told you where it was coming from.
So would I think that getting around, it's going to take me more than a round, I suspect, but getting to somewhere like here and then suppressing them with machine gun fire from there is a good plan?
The problem with going that way, though, right, is there could be other snipers up on that roof, on those roof sections.
Shit.
Does that make any sense? Because if you go that way, you could be putting yourself in a whole world of hurt. Call me, I'm just being.
We just have to suppress them long enough to get you guys across the road.
Okay.
You could use other options as well.
Is there any?
We could go up in this building. For that
is there any bushes around because I want to move without being spotted. So, can I pick up a bush and pretend to be?
I am a tree. Please
That's
move
cool.
along.
You do.
That's a cool bet.
I will remind you that you do have smoke grenades.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yes,
that.
we can do smoke for cover. There's also this building. If there was I mean, presumably there's someone in the building, but we could, or someone could go in this building, find a window or balcony, and provide cover fire from up there. But
Depends on how tall
that's
that.
slowing us down, and we want to move.
Depends on how tall that
I mean-
building is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smoke
fair.
smoke grenade feels good, and like machine gun range versus sniper range is not feeling great right now.
Right.
So I'm going to propose.
That's
that
medium
I-
range for you.
Is it? Ah,
120 for your machine gun. I don't know. How many hexes is it?
Let me look at his. Let me look at Blake's machine gun gear. M249. Range is 6. So 60 meters for short range.
Yeah,
okay.
and he's like 12, I think. So that'd be
So it's
Stretching
1,
medium.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 130 meters. So yeah, he's almost at long range, into long range.
okay. Let's pop some smoke and
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll kind of push when I stop being on ruler. I'll kind of push down next to Win, and then chuck a smoke grenade to there.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and roll mobility to chuck the smoke grenade.
Cool.
I hope
And is
you
that
drop it
better
with
than
your foot.
hitting the smoke grenade button?
What?
Hit mobility.
Yeah, no, you should be able to hit the smoke grenade.
Yeah, it should be tied
roll.
to mobility rather than.
Yeah.
Find out.
Ah, you got a little
Attack.
I've hit it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, excellent.
A little of everything.
Hit
Yeah.
somebody in the arm.
So that's
yeah.
yeah, one crit, 1611. But
But they only needed 1/6.
yeah,
And the one doesn't count unless you push, right?
No,
He
yeah,
can't
he's
push.
okay.
He can't
Yeah.
push because he's rolled a 6 and a 1, and there's no other
Yeah.
dice to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Only if they don't roll a success, or yeah. So, yeah, you put the smoke grenade in that hex. Let's see if we can denote. Well, so the smoke's gonna billow in that hex. You're gonna need a second smoke grenade, probably in this hex, or at least this hex here,
All right.
okay.
in order to completely like, you know what I mean, completely smoke
Yeah,
out
yeah.
the area. Yeah. All right. So, next turn.
There's a Soviet soldier.
Yep, and the sniper, I know what they're doing. Doc. Oh, remove the smoke grenade from your inventory, Tom.
Okay, sure.
Take one smoke grenade away.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just telling everyone to get down. That's all I can. I've got no smoke grenade. So
You
I
don't have
can't
smoke grenade? Okay.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
smoke if I wanna, basically.
So do you want to? So always good to do something like pull Overwatch, whatever. You could, if you wanted to, pull Overwatch and watch you guys' rear. Watch
Yeah,
you guys'
okay, yeah, I'll
six.
watch how 6.
Watch your 6. All right.
Just make sure the civilians don't panic and try and run somewhere.
Win is a tad broken, so we're going to flag.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do a set. Just put some lead in their direction.
Okay, so you're gonna lean out and fire.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you lean out.
That's going to draw around, right?
Boom. That's gonna draw some fire. Yep.
I know.
Plus minus, and it's a minus.
You're in cover from hard cover from that corner, so its head and arms are exposed.
That is one
there you
hit
go.
in the torso.
That
so
won't be
it's-
enough, right?
3 armor, and torso is 3 armor. 3 armor plus this is not enough to damage you, but you have to make a coolness under fire roll.
I will do a coolness under fire.
And there is another attack coming at you as well.
So your coolness under fire flag is on your combat tab.
I'm gonna add unit morale.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, bollocks.
Oh,
No, take 1 stress and you are suppressed. So you get down prone.
behind the wall. Suppressed for him in that position is he's prone, but he's behind the wall. Like, does that take him out of line of fire for the next, or does both Overwatch shots get the chance to?
No, both Overwatch are gonna get a chance to, but then he's gonna duck for cover.
Okay.
But both Overwatch are gonna. Boom, boom, boom. -1, -2 for range, and
Any effect for the hex of smoke, or is it not sufficient?
no,
yet?
because he's on the farther part of the street. Plus,
Yeah, right.
yeah. It's good that you guys threw the smoke close too, because that means it'll actually work. If you threw it too far down the street, they can just see over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys put it right next to you, which is good. All right, let's use at a -2 for this because of range. We're gonna stop and do experience just a second, real quick.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
And a burst of AK fire comes rattling down the street as well. But it to no
Bouncing
avail.
off the cobbles, but not to any effect.
All right, so Flag, you can move you kind of back behind cover. Boom. And you are not, you are suppressed, so boom. All right. So that's where we're going to stop tonight, at the top of the order of Orchid, going, holy shit. But what I want to do now is let's do experience for the last 2 sessions that we made.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so experience in this game, everybody gets 1 experience for showing up.
Yay.
So that's going to be 2 experience. Everybody gets 2 experience points right off the bat, because we've done 2 sessions of actual gameplay. Then if you act within your moral code, or holding to your moral code, despite risk to yourself or to the group, you also get an experience point. So in the first session, I don't think James acted within his moral code by executing the wounded Russian soldier instead of actually like attempting to heal him, or like giving him morphine, like to ease his passing into the next world. No.
You could argue that, James. You could push back. You could say you were giving him a quick death instead of a painful bleeding out in the hallway.
Yeah, but I could have just given him some morphine.
Fair. Yeah. I'm trying to help you out, brother.
I know,
like, what's up, man?
But
Yeah.
It
was still a cool thing to do.
If he looks like a duck and quacks like a duck,
we don't got to ask what it is. It's a duck.
It's RuneQuest.
So it's RuneQuest. Yeah. So
Well played.
if you also, at the end of experience, you also have the option of changing moral code. So if you think that events are happening in game that would cause your character to act differently and change how they act, you can be flexible and change your character's like actions. That's up for you to decide. When we start next session, we'll go over what our moral codes and what our big dreams are. Again, in case anybody wants to.
I'm going to change mine, I think.
Okay. That's cool. So I think Tom, in the first session, I think Tom's character acted within his moral code by pushing forward inside the grocery store to try to help the kids once he saw them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, oh, I'm definitely moving towards them then. But then in the other session, he actually, you know what I mean? I don't know if he, I don't know if you, James, did you exercise moral code, your moral code in the second session? I don't really think so. Not despite risk to yourself. I mean,
What do you mean?
sometimes you do. Like you have to exercise or you have to act within your moral code, despite risk. Like just offhand, you can't. But like despite risk to yourself or to actually, because you said your moral code is to save as many people as you can, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I might give you a point for being willing to help the Polish civilians instead of just dismiss them out of hand or get rid of them.
And he
Well, yeah,
actually tried to talk dude down first with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Which was ballsy.
And
let's see, Flag showed up, so he gets 2. Or Trey showed up, so he gets 2 experience. What's your moral code again?
I am better than other people, and they are clay in my hand.
Points in the first one for manipulating Orchid's family.
Yep.
I was thinking, but does it have to be detrimental to one's group?
Yeah, so like despite risk to yourself or the group.
Really. It was. Yeah, sure. I was using them, but it was to the benefit of the group, not to the detriment of the group.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What about in the second session? What about today?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think
you. Oh, it wasn't manipulative. I was going to say you got Orchid out of the line of fire.
Yeah.
After
again,
he took a loading bay guy.
The thing is, yeah, in a way, it's not for his sake, but he's the prize I have to take back. So.
Yeah, but you took up his position instead, thus putting yourself in danger. I could argue. You know
That's
what I mean?
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like you yanked him back and said, "I'll cover the corner." Yeah. Okay.
I could take an XP for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Take an XP. So that's 3 for you so far.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. And Douglas for Win.
So yeah, Win's been on point throughout or on recon throughout, even if it meant being more exposed.
You definitely were more exposed.
Everyone looks to you, lead them to safety no matter the risk. So Win's been prepared to take that risk consistently. Yeah. He's paying the price for it right now, but he'll settle down. But he definitely sees that as his responsibility.
Okay, yeah. So I would say go ahead and take 2. Because you've been
on the pointy end.
On the pointing end of that. Everybody give yourself, so one of them is you get 1 XP for traveling through a hex that you hadn't previously traveled through. It's not per hex, it's just it's like a check the block. Yes, we did that. We traveled through a hex. So give yourself another 2 experience points because you definitely traveled through 2 different hexes.
Session.
1 for each session.
That measurement is theoretically more when you get to the travel scale where a hex represents 10 kilometers or
10K. Okay. So go ahead and because you move through and then you're moving through this one now, so it's okay. Another one is to overcome danger or either through violence or through persuasion or whatever. You had a dangerous situation in the first episode and in this episode as well. So go ahead and give yourself.
Violence worked well in both cases.
Exactly. And there was dangerous situation jumping out of the helicopter as well. You guys overcame that. So that's another 2.
Okay, I want 8 experience.
Yeah.
And then another there's 2 more categories. So did anybody risk their life for their buddy?
I don't think so.
Yes. We're in the hallway fight. I thought somebody took a shot at, I want to say Flag, and James stepped in, but it might have been the other way around.
Yeah, but they're not
Did one of
buddies.
you get?
Yeah, but he's not my
Yeah,
buddy.
they're
My
almost
buddy-
Oh, I
anti-buddies.
saw literally
My buddy is-
buddy. Got you.
My buddy is
Gotcha.
Puppy Smurf over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys.
I would
haven't
say
had
maybe Tom, but I don't think he actually risked his life because he just turned around and took up a position and
Yeah.
then lit a
But
dude
they
up.
could,
I
they
had-
could have spotted him if they weren't distracted with me.
and the Russians could have taken a shot at him if they weren't getting shot at from the flank.
Okay.
So I'd say he was exposed, and he prioritized taking care of Doc.
All right. So Tom, take one more experience.
Woohoo!
Woot. All right. So this one is probably a no, but we'll see.
Don't
Did
worry,
any of-
Tom. If you get shot, you'll get special treatment with the lollipop, all right?
Right,
You're
that's
gonna-
what I'm all
you're
about. The
gonna-
lollipop.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just nice to this guy because he's gonna
He's
duct
my
tape
hookup.
he's gonna duct tape a fentanyl lollipop to my hand. So in the event of a gunshot wound, did any of you sacrifice for your big dream?
Don't think so.
No, not
Yeah,
yet.
hasn't
Not yet.
come up yet, really.
James, what's your big dream again?
My big dream is to return home, get home with some shred of hope and humanity left in your heart.
Yeah, you've been slowly chipping away at that.
That'd be chipped away when the fucking Polish wankers tried to fucking backstab us, and we were willing
Alright.
to like, when we, do you know what I mean? We were like, you know, once we've taken care of the Russians, you can loot to your heart content. But they were more interested in what we had,
Exactly.
and then
'cause
paid
there's nothing in there
paid
anyway.
the fucking price for it, right?
and paid the iron price. That's right. So
Could argue.
Tom, what's your big dream?
Get home to hold daughter Julie no matter what.
Okay.
However,
And
However, can I just quickly argue, the main priority is to get home. So me surviving them trying to basically kill me to steal all the shit off me, because I didn't know if they took all the shit, they could have just turned around and shot me anyway.
True. But
Would
you
that mean that
sacrifice-
every
did you
adventure
sacrifice anything?
Right.
Nah.
Because otherwise, it's every session you survive is getting you towards your goal.
Yeah, so I would say like risking your like not going after Orchid if he's in a dangerous position. Like Tom's goal is to get back to hold his wife, daughter, no matter what. So if Orchid, let's say Orchid's pinned down in a dangerous situation, Tom's like, nope, because I'm going home. That would be sacrificing something to visualize your big dream. To me, at least.
Oh,
Yeah,
Eric Cartman over
makes
there,
sense.
yeah. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
screw you guys. I'm going home.
So compare that to Flag and Wynn's big dreams.
Yeah, what's
Um,
Flag's been dream?
This is still a war, and we can still win it.
Okay.
Well, that's been dashed, ain't it?
What?
No. That's
But-
the whole point. It's like, yeah, you would think that, but his dream is actually like, no. We just need to regroup, and we'll fucking win this war against goddamn Soviets next week or the week after. But we'll still win this. Like, look at this shit place, man. It's not even a war anymore. Well,
Like,
shut up. I'm gonna win this war.
Like the British in
And-
early World War II, where we lost pretty much everything, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
We've been told in this case that Orchid is strategically significant, and for Flag and for Wynn, the goal is to win or to push the Soviets out. We've been told that his survival and getting him to our NATO allies is going to contribute to that strategic win. So we would, if our goal was survival, we could easily ditch him and his family and move faster with less risk than we're doing right now. So I'd argue that we are sacrificing our speed of withdrawal and risking our lives in order to protect him and keep him alive, in order to pursue the big dream that Flag and I have in common.
All right. Yeah. So Flag and Win, go ahead and get yourself one more experience point.
And yeah, Flag is pretty much for the most part gonna insist on like our mission is is it still a war or it's still a mission? We still need to bring Orchid back. This is like,
Gotcha.
Until he catches one and is no
Okay.
longer
no,
strategically
we gotta
relevant.
make sure that Doc catches one before him. You know,
Right.
babysitter.
Excuse me.
Oops, I accidentally friendly fired flag hole over there. Whoops. Oh well.
That would be sacrificing humanity for your
I'm
sacrifice.
joking. I'm joking. I don't think Doc should take a bullet. We'll make Pop takes it before him.
And
If only so Doc can patch him up and get buddy points.
Because
Yeah, well,
Doc got the lollipops.
But then
you know?
I can give him a
Okay.
lollipop. Exactly. Win-win.
win-win.
You call?
James, what's Doc's experience point total?
I believe it was 8.
8. Okay, 8 is great. Tom,
I
what's
think
Blake's?
I got to 9.
Okay. Trey,
8.
what is Flags? 8. And Doug,
9.
9. All right. So we will. And do you want to expend experience at the beginning of next session
I said
Just
you're supposed
looking
to
at
spend it
time?
when you're
when you're in camp?
yeah. So
Okay,
maybe
cool,
when
we'll
we
spend it
first
in
make
camp.
a
Heck yeah, we'll spend it in camp.
Assuming we get
Yes,
there.
There's something
Right.
about gain coolness under fire as well here.
Yeah.
After each session in which you make
It's 40.
Has
well,
anyone
actually,
rolled a success on coolness?
Actually, if you click on the little journal note and go to character creation, then click develop your character, it's a lot quicker. It says after each session in which you made a coolness under fire or cuff roll and succeeded, you have a chance of increasing your cuff. Roll the base dice of your cuff. If the result is a 1, you increase your cuff by 1 step. The maximum cuff score is A. So, Doug, you passed your test, didn't he?
This last one I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you make a cuff roll, so you got just roll it. If you get a
Yeah.
1, you can increase it increases your cuff score. But
Let's see what
if that
Yeah.
does happen, you then need to make a empathy roll. Just the base dice of empathy, and if the result is 6 or higher, your empathy is permanently reduced by 1 because you become emotionally numb to things.
cold and hard, right?
But it can only be reduced to a minimum of a D.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's our coolness under fire roll, which is not a success.
Okay.
So I do not go up.
But you nearly rolled away. You was a 2. You was 1 away.
Did anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone else pass coolness under fire?
No, I don't think I got shot
Yeah, me neither.
yet.
I don't think yet.
And there's also change unit morale. At the end of
Right.
each session, you should join. Sorry, Nathan, I'm just reading.
No, you're fine.
this
You
list.
keep reading. Keep reading.
At the end of each session, you should jointly in a group assets. If your unit morale has changed as a result of events during the session, if one or more of the following events have taken place in this session, the unit morale increases 1 step. Unit has been in combat and defeated its enemies.
Mm-hmm. That's 1 step. What
You have
else?
helped other people in some material way.
Not
you-
yet. No.
Your unit has travelled at least 1 hex on the travel map towards your goal.
Mm-hmm.
The PCs, the player characters in the unit with the highest command skill level has increased their skill level.
Nope.
And then if one or more of the following events have taken place in the session, the unit morale decreases by 1. A member of your
Okay.
unit has been killed or fatally wounded. No.
Mm-hmm.
A member of your unit is starving at the end of the session. No, we're not starving yet. A member of your unit is dehydrated. There's also one
Nope.
for sleep deprived. And then
Nope.
hypothermia.
Nope.
Hypothermic. So, okay, so nothing... It might
2
go...
positives, no negatives.
I think you guys got 3 positives because you're we're doing over 2 sessions.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
So you got 3 positives.
And it just needs to be one of these following positives in a session.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get a roll for each of the 2 sessions.
Okay, so it's not all of those. It's any one of those.
Right.
Any
Okay,
one of
Per,
those
per
things, yeah?
session. Yeah.
Okay, so you're at +2. Okay.
So what does that take our unit morale to?
I don't know
We
what is
at
it. What is that at right now?
I've got C.
It was C, so that moves it up to A.
Nice. We're so cocky.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful to move up after last session.
Was
Right.
it
All
C?
good.
I thought it was D.
But we're working as a well. No, it was C because it was based on your command.
Yeah, it's the highest
Oh.
command skill.
I actually okay. Then I had a better die.
Yeah.
I thought that was set automatically. It wasn't.
Oh, that's going pretty well.
Well, it means
Heck
we've
yeah.
learned how to work together well, and we've had some success without costing us too much. So we're feeling a little more confident, a little more coordinated. And hopefully that helps us get out of this mess that we're currently in when we resume.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for tonight. Greystorm probably rolled some dice. Heck yeah.
C Morale A. Yeah, so it's Unimorale, you gotta update manually.
Right, let's do some quick shout outs if anyone wants to. We'll start with Nathan.
I'm good to go. Have fun, everybody. Be good to your neighbors.
Douglas.
Stay safe, have fun, we'll see you next week.
Tom. Are you muted? Because
You're
no
muted,
one
Tom.
fucking hurt you.
I managed to get the whole night and not do that. Yeah, always check if you're muted before you start speaking. That is my sign off. Have a lovely week.
Quality
Okay.
advice.
Trey.
Keep making your coolness under fire rolls.
Oh, as for me, don't forget to check out my social media. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do so, because that's where you'll find us. You can even sign up for games. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Yeah, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and perhaps leave a comment if you're feeling spicy. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to hit that follow button, and if you have Amazon Prime and you're not using your free subscription, whatever,
Subscription.
to someone else, you can use it here, which would be most appreciated. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing, and thank you Nathan for running. Most appreciated. But we will see you all next week. We've overrun a little bit, so
Yeah.
But thank
Extra
you all,
bonus content.
and good night.
Good night.
I'm going to do my Arnold Rimmer. Fuck me. Right, whatever.
The Benny Hill.
Don't do anything new. And if you do something new, name it after me.
Exactly. Right. See you all later. Bye. Don't forget, you can support me on Patreon over at patreon.com/JamesCorp. And also get your name here in the credits. I'd like to thank Era Sherpa, Weefs, Orcus Dorcas, Matt Jones, Mike Nudd, Ludovic, Giuseppe, and J-Wall. Thank you very much for your continued support. Most appreciated. Bye.